Yes, businesses fail, but yes, invest in business. Think outside the box. Invest in a business. That business, if well invested, well thought about, the problem is we all want to do the same easy things that have competition. Think outside. We don't want to think. We don't want to get outside the comfort zone. These are very brutal words that I tell people, and they say, "Oh, I've not found life on a silver plate. I've had to think. I've had to work." Put in the work. There's nothing easy. Business is risky. You could lose all your money, but we risk it anyway. And things work out because we are putting in the effort. So if you're out there and you think, oh, Dennis is speaking because he was being blessed. I thank God I've been blessed, but not to the blessing that you think. Or maybe I have a rich parent somewhere who gave me capital. No, I started from zero.
Welcome to the Success Theory Talk Show. I'm your host, Dorothy Kamarunga. Today on the show, we are excited to host one of the most amazing entrepreneurs in this country, Uganda. He is a retired news anchor, a YouTuber, a farmer, and an overall serial entrepreneur. His story is one of a kind. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dorothy, for actually having me around.
Tell us more about yourself, where you were born, and your early years as a young man.
Yes.
And what shaped, this entrepreneur mind that we see right now.
Wow, interesting. Quite a couple of things you want me to say in a short while. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much, gentlemen, ladies, for joining us today. My name is Denis Onyala, but commonly known as Denis Duke. I am a Mugisu by tribe. I am a journalist by profession, like she said. I was a news anchor before I quit. Now I'm into farming. I'm into entrepreneurship. I'm a co-founder of Sungura House. It's a restaurant that majorly deals in rabbit meat. I'm also developing Duke's properties. Very soon we shall be launching it. I'm also the proprietor, if I put it that way, of the Duke's farm. So at the Duke's farm, we majorly deal in rabbits, now chickens, and soon we shall intensify on our goat business as well. We do construction of goat structures, goat pens, and all the other farm animal structures as well, rabbit cages, and so forth and so on. I do consultation. I'm into content creation. I'm an all-round man. And like you said, maybe because of my childhood and where I grew up from. I was born of Vlambudi district. That's in eastern Uganda. But I was born in Bale, raised in Bale, partly, and then also raised in Vlambudi partly before I relocated to Kampala about 12 years ago. That's when I came to Kampala. But prior to that, of course, I did go to primary schools in Vlambudi. That's where I did my P7 from. There's a school called Tunyi Primary School. It still actually exists. I was there the other day and beautiful memories. Then I went to Mbale High School. It's also a government-aided school. And yes, that's where I did my O-level. Then I went to Mbale Senior Secondary School. So checking you back where I grew up from, I never grew up with my parents because they all died. Unfortunately, this is a story that I've only shared, I think, once on some platform. But yes, my parents died my dad dies in 1993. My mother dies in 1995. So there's a space of 2 years after my dad passing on. So I was raised by my relatives, home in Africa, our uncles and aunties. But of course, for us to write our daddy, Yeah, but my aunties were amazing people. My daddies or my uncles were amazing people. Very good stuff, Life wasn't easy. Was quite hard. Yeah. Because my people gave me all their best. Honestly speaking, I don't complain. But maybe looking at it from my perspective now, life wasn't as easy as my children are finding it. I remember in my primary, I never used to wear shoes, but my children do wear. So that's quite interesting. So life wasn't as easy.
You never used to wear shoes?
No, I never wore shoes.
So the whole school was not wearing? Because you
Yes.
cannot afford the shoes, or because you're just following the bandwagon?
There were 2 or 3 other things. Number one, I couldn't afford the shoes. Number two, the area wasn't favorable enough for shoes. So even if you had the shoes, you wouldn't, because we were using foot to get to school. You would walk like 30 kilometers or 25 kilometers to access a school. Not like currently where a school is a kilometer or 2 away. No.
And still
Back then,
you take
and
the
I'm
kids.
talking about early 2000s, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, during our primaries. So life was that difficult. I mean, you had to traverse villages to access education. And then the roads weren't tarmacked. They were muddy roads. So even if you had the shoes, you'd hardly wear them. And then it used to rain a lot. So even if you had the shoes, but still, I didn't have the shoes. And then the environment made it quite worse for us. So, but those were all experiences we had to go through. So that was my primary, life. Bittersweet experience right there. We never used to have lunch. You'd go in the morning after your breakfast, then you'll come back at 4 or 5 to eat lunch. Not like now that,
there's
parents are able to pay for, yes. And even if they were able to pay back, then nobody had money to pay for me. So that's how life was, actually.
But they had money, they could afford the school fees, or the school was free?
So the beautiful thing is, actually, I don't know if I would have gone to school if there was no free education. I don't think.
So it was free?
Yeah, it was free. Totally free, like 0 shillings. All my primary. Yes. The only things that they were buying were scholastic materials, which we struggled sometimes. Yes. So scholastic materials, I mean uniforms, I mean books, yes, pens and pencils. That was all we could buy by that time. So I went through my primary education free of charge. I went to secondary, senior 1, senior 2, senior 3, senior 4, free of charge.
Free of charge? Like you mean 0 shillings?
0 shillings. All you do is buy uniform and go to school.
That's interesting.
Yes. Because during the primary, I was in PLE schools. You know what I mean? PLE are currently they are the worst performing schools, to say, the very least. So those are the schools I went to. Back then, they had a little bit of standard. They weren't as saturated as now. They weren't as poor as now. But still, you wouldn't compare it to a school where people were paying. I mean, if I went to those better schools, who knows?
Yeah, like private schools.
Maybe I wouldn't be in Uganda.
Maybe you wouldn't be who you
or I would be a president by now. Okay. All I'm trying to say is not that I'm in a worse position now. All I'm saying is maybe life would have turned out differently. I'm not saying where I am is bad.
But I feel like you made, like you were given lemons.
And I turned.
But you turned.
Yeah, sometimes people are surprised by.
Because there are many people who actually have gone to international schools. Well, I mean, they're not anywhere in terms of contributing to the nation, or maybe.
That's also very true.
So,
but in my case, if I'm contributing to the nation with the kind of education I went through, now imagine.
And the challenges you had to overcome.
Yes. Now, because there's a moment I will tell you that I had to pay for my own tuition.
When was that?
Or when I joined college for my journalism course, I had to work and pay. But that's a story that is coming up. So, looking at it from that perspective of having gone to these poor schools, imagine if I went to better schools. What would have happened? You understand? Because I was a very bright chap.
Maybe it would be the opposite.
No, trust me, it would never have been the opposite.
You would be like, having a different mindset, not pushed to do what you're doing, saying, okay, I have it easy, my parents have everything, so why should I work? I've seen like most of the kids, I went to City Parents Primary School, but most of the kids I went to school with, like, they're actually not doing as good as their parents.
That's very true.
They are not even doing anything.
There's that possibility also and for me, I actually thank God because of the experiences I went through, because they helped shape me. Now I'm a hardcore. Nothing shakes me anymore.
Exactly.
So that is equally very important. So during our primaries, those were the hard times. Then I went to secondary, free education, like I told you. Again, we would work or we would study half day. From 7 to 1. And then the day is done. We go home.
Really?
Yes, because we had a batch of other people that would come in the evening. So we had, if you're in senior
primary
one,
school?
no, in
In
senior one,
secondary
in
school?
secondary. So we had a batch for senior one that came in the morning and another batch that came in the evening because the numbers were massive.
Wow.
Yes, because it was free education. Remember,
Yeah.
it's free education. Majority of people couldn't afford it.
To study like
Now imagine
9 to 4 p.m.
somebody studies from 7 in the morning to 7 in the evening. Now for me, I used to study from 7 to 1 p.m. and that was it. That was those hours. It meant we needed to do extremely hard or work harder to be able to capture the syllabus, but also to be able to grasp the things that we're teaching us. So we used to study half day. In secondary,
Okay,
then there's somebody who studied, you know what I'm meaning.
Yeah.
If I studied maybe up to 5 p.m., I'd be the president, definitely.
But maybe soon you will be the president. It might take longer, but yeah.
It won't take longer. I'm giving President Museveni about 5 years. Bobby Wine about maybe 10. Then I'll come. So
Then you
in
come.
15 to 20 years, I'll be president of this country. Trust me. Guys, mark this note, mark this video, screenshot and keep it safe so that one day when I become that, you'll be able to share.
There'll be reference.
Yes. Doreen hosted him at this particular day, on this particular day, and he said these words. Trust me, I have manifested a lot of things that have come to pass. This too will come to pass. And my parents died when I was young. My mother died when I was young. I could have died.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people thought it was HIV. So unfortunately it was, or fortunately it wasn't. So they thought I was going to die. Like, I was really vulnerable at that time. And when your parents die, your guardians fight for property. They want to, get rid of you because you're the only son. So, fortunately, again, for my family, amazing people. They kept everything. They never.
So they kept everything for you and they gave it to you at the right time?
Yes.
So that means you have some land from...
Yeah, I have land, but it's in the village. So it's not as important as the one in Kampala. Yes. Okay. But there is land. Again, that is now family land, really. I don't really look forward to doing much with it. Okay,
but if you wanted to do anything with it, it would be available for you.
Yeah, it is available. Okay. In fact, there is coffee that we put up there every year. They noga the coffee. They send me the money. Yeah, they send me.
So you're a half-planned kid.
you see, having property in the village is different from having property in town because there's not much I can do except farming with the land. And the value of land in the village is not the value of land in Kampala. But also because of family issues, I said, no, I don't want anything to do with that land. Let that land be for home purpose. Anybody, maybe that my auntie who feels like they need to come back home and, retire from home, let them come. There's land. Maybe we've lost somebody and they don't have where to bury them. Bring them here. There's land here. So I've decided to, even my children, I'll put it in my will. No selling of family land. Let it stay family. Like
a safe place.
Yes. Somebody wants to take a rest, let them go to home. There's land. It doesn't necessarily have to be from my womb. No. It could be my cousin who is struggling in life. Come back home. There's land here. Cultivate.
But I've also seen, like, when we go back to what you touched on with the land in the village not being as valuable as land in Kampala, I've seen people nowadays, like, they are actually adding value to the land, even in the villages. Like, when we last saw, like, I was actually watching a story of, I think, Amos Sensei, where he started Hot Loaf. He started in Kabale. He built the factory.
The village that I'm talking about is deep.
Deep. How deep?
Like, we are talking about 350 kilometers from Kampala right now. Like, deep.
Yeah, but it cannot...
If you started something,
I don't think isn't it... Kabale is far. Have you been to Kabale?
Kabale is far.
It's almost like 9 hours.
Where?
Yeah, like
for
said example, in the village. I don't know.
You see, when we talk about the village, people have a different perception of the village. You could be coming from the village, but from a better village, better road network, better systems. To reach to my plot, you can't access it with a car. You have to use what? You have to foot there. Okay? So
then you will build the road. Maybe you would be the one that
So if
they're
you're to
looking
build
up
the
to.
road, you'll have to compensate about 100 people along the way. That's a lot of money. Like it's like the plantations are deep in the village, except for where the home is.
Okay.
The home is a bit around people build closer to the road. That's the only land that. But the most majority of the land are deep in the village. And then we are in mountainous.
Oh yeah.
Like mountains, Oh God, I wish I could picture for you what kind of land I'm talking
If we were thinking about the things that you could do on that land.
So an acre maybe goes for 2 or 3 or 5 million at most.
Yeah.
An acre. Yes.
But if you now build, let's say, a resort or something, because I've seen people travel places, go places, just the deepest of the remote places, just
in my
to have
area,
an experience.
In my area, you can't.
Why?
Trust me, I've thought about that as well.
Okay.
Not recently, I thought about it. But then the possibility of a landslide kills it all. Yes. That's where the landslides happen. Happen, yes.
Okay.
Yes, it rains 3 days in a row, 5 days in a row, and the land back shots or so, whatever it is.
That's crazy.
Yes. So, like, you look at the only...
So someone has to keep thinking.
Economic activity that is viable right now is farming, which farming I'm equally doing in Kampala. So really. And then the fact that I have my concentration in Kampala, supervision in the village, 350 kilometers away from Kampala, becomes way hard. You understand? And with family, you've put there your investment, they use it the way they want. After all, you're their son. Or Senga, what are you going to do to your auntie? They will curse you for nothing. So to avoid all that, actually, I advise people, guys, move away from home. If I could, I don't know how to emphasize that. Move away from home. Go and make your life. Don't detach from home. Move away from home. Go to the next city. Start a business in the next city. Don't start a business in your hometown. Guys, I know somebody will say, I don't like my people that much, but a business that you've started in your home area, majority of times, they'll fail. And they will fail not because they are bound to fail. Your home people will fail you. Your home people are the ones that don't wish you well. Trust me.
I don't know why it's
Trust
like
me.
that.
It's just like that, most especially in Africa. You start up a business and your home-owned people kill you.
Yeah, mostly in the village. Like, that's the reason.
People haven't developed their mindset to accept that actually this is a good thing.
Yeah,
when Dorothy starts up a business, he's going to give employment to our people. He's going to develop our area. No, in the village, we all have to be poor. You understand? So if you can move away from home, please do that. I remember before my dad passed. Now, the dad we are talking about is somebody who raised me, a brother to my father.
Yeah.
Amazing gentleman. He told me after graduation, stay in Kampala. You don't have a job. I'll send you upkeep until you get a job. But do what?
Stay in Kampala.
Yes, because he had equally
Don't come to the village.
Don't come here to the village right now.
Okay, so he had tested the cruelty of the people in the village.
Yeah, because during their times, in fact, even my dad died because of the same.
Wow.
He had started, making a lot of money. Oh. That's the story I'm told. And so, because his death he died of unnatural causes.
Unnatural. They were not natural.
Yes, unnatural, unknown causes.
Wow.
His death or his demise still puzzles a lot because he was a very young man. He was the youngest in the family. Yes, so he had started making money. He would go to the village and buy a full truck of matoke, a fuso, big one, and so or maize or coffee, whatever was the season for that time. And so he had started getting money, and before you know it, he died of really, really, unfortunately, unnatural causes. So,
sorry about
even my dad that died recently, he told me the same. He got some quite good money, but because of people at home, not necessarily our home.
Yeah,
but I mean the village and the entire spot. In Bugisu, those things are very common. Yeah, very common. So you want to keep away from them as much as you can.
Wow, okay. Yeah. So that was a bit of a diversion, but let's come back to after you finish high school. So after
finishing my Form 4, I now go to Mbale Senior Secondary School, Mbale SS, for my A-level. Now that was paid. And my dad, my sister, whom I call my sister is my cousin because I was born alone. And they did pay for me as well. So after senior 6, I go to Kampala, or I come to Kampala where I am today. And I go and join UMCAT, School of Journalism and Mass Communication, and that's where I did my journalism course. Yeah, so while there was a lot behind the background also. I used to work while I went to school. And I think one of the hardest things to do in life is to work while you study.
Yeah.
Quite hard, you know.
How hard was it for you?
Because I would wake up at 6, sometimes 5, to prepare to go to work at 7. And then you would stand, because my kind of job, I was working at a Total petrol station as a customer attendant, or a pump attendant, as many refer it to. And you would come from morning 7, and I would leave at 4 p.m., sometimes 5 p.m., depending on what the day dictated. So during those times, I stood, because you're serving customers. You don't sit. The only times I sat were when I was eating. Sometimes you would not even eat because customers were many. So you would stand literally the entire day. So I would go to the classroom, exhausted, tired, to say the very least. And so being in a classroom, you're expected to concentrate. You want your full mental capacity. Sometimes it wasn't there. Sometimes I was dozing. Sometimes because I woke up very early and I'm tired, I would go back home in a taxi, very sleepy. In fact, I would sleep. They would just, say what to say. You know? So studying and working is very hard.
So were you having a good salary despite all that?
I don't know what you mean by a good salary, but I had something that would keep me going.
Was it enough to pay your tuition?
Not enough. Yes.
How much were you paying for tuition?
I was paying about 800,000.
And your salary?
My salary was 150.
No way.
Yes.
How were you balancing
Now
it?
here is the tricky.
Because you also had to pay rent.
Yes, you had to pay rent, clothing, and then transport. Sometimes I had to pay people to copy notes for me, because you don't have the time, because when you're going back home, you want to rest. Maybe grab dinner and rest, so that you're able to wake up in the morning. So you have to pay somebody to copy these notes for you. But then you have to make sure that you get time to read. So, but then I thank God that God led me to amazing people. There's a lady called Kaveni, my manager at the petrol station at that time. She gave me the opportunity to study while I was working, because my schedules were not that of the station, because the station would close at 5. Although the morning shift would stop working at 5, me, I would stop at 3:30 sometimes when I have exams, or at 4, so that I'm able to prepare and rush to school. So, amazing woman, right, out there. She did help me, give me $90 karega. I was able to go to school. And then the salary part was important. We're earning about 150,000 Uganda shillings. That's less than $100. Yet I was paying about $250. So here's the catch. At these petrol stations, there are opportunities. When you work well, people tip you. And I was very good. Mm-hmm. Yes, and that's where I got my customer care.
So what made you good? Like, was this a strategy?
Total as a company, number one, Total as a company has policies. You have to welcome customers, you have to smile. Must. Yes, and that's where I learned my customer care from. You welcome the customer, they come in, you greet them. Hello, good afternoon, Doreen. Okay, this time I don't know their name. Good afternoon, thank you, madam. My name is Denis. How would we help you today? Oh, I need fuel. You go. Every time you greeted people, like I told you the other time, people are dealing with a lot of things. Somebody has had a very rough morning with their husband or with their wife. And so they've come to your petrol station and you're also adding another wound to them. Trust me, they'll frustrate you. But here's a scenario where you come with all your problems, with all your frustrations, you're even rude. But I'm like, hello, madam. Good afternoon, with a smile. Like, what's wrong with this one? But I'm giving you a beautiful smile and a beautiful service. Sometimes somebody will be like, put for me 40,000. So when they hand you 50,000 change, you give them change of 10,000. Like, no, you keep it. And they're like, okay, what's this for? They're like, no, keep up the good work. So in a day, maybe you get 20,000, you keep saving. That's where I knew my problem was I didn't have backup. So whichever small money I got, I kept it. Whichever small money I got, I kept it. Then we used to get, top performers would get incentives. So incentives like from Total, maybe you've sold fuel of this magnitude. So as a station, they give you a bonus called incentive. So those incentives, our manager was very transparent. If they got, some managers don't say that we got it. They keep it to themselves because they've been given maybe 7 or 10 million because of maybe you've sold oil excessively in big quantities. So they give you a bonus. So those bonuses equally came in, this month you get something. So I used to get all those small monies. At least there's no day I would lack transport. Yes, somebody would give you a 10K. Somebody even gives you 50,000. People are very generous, but when you treat them well. But also it stems from the fact that I came from a very unprivileged background that I wanted to be as good to people because I knew the only way out is to be good to people, or people who have options, people who have opportunities. Because when you are serving somebody here, you don't know who they are. You're probably serving a member of parliament. You're probably serving a very big person in the country, but you don't know them. Maybe you have never seen them. You treat them well, and they're like, hey, Dennis, maybe next week, come to my office. I would have an opportunity for you. People want to work with people that are good. So I wanted.
So do you mean if you were not from a privileged, if you were from a privileged background, you might have not been that nice?
I might not have been as well. You get, because again,
like you don't care.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People from boys or girls from, very well-to-do families.
Yeah.
They talk anyhowly. They don't care. What are you going to do? You
I have everything sorted.
Exactly.
I don't
like
need
our
you.
first son. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Okay.
I've arrested Bobby Wine. So what?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
But it's because of the upbringing. I'm not saying he had a poor upbringing. It's just an example. But
Okay.
This is just a joke. Anyhow, when somebody has access to a lot of privileges, they tend not everybody, majority of them.
Actually, some other people might project.
Yes.
So you just chose to.
So I just chose
that for.
Yes, and then I didn't want to choose. I never chose to be like, oh, mama, what he, because he, no, there was no time for
self-pity.
No time. Get out there, work on people will appreciate you.
But how were you dealing with yourself emotionally? Because I feel like when you lose both your parents at a young age, and this doesn't happen only when you lose the parents, sometimes you can have parents that abandon you, that don't nurture you. It creates a certain mental image towards yourself and how you see the world, also how you see yourself.
That's very true.
Like, did you ever have these thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I don't belong here, I'm not worthy? How were you dealing with your internal conversation and your energy?
Now, there's a difference between when somebody loses a parent when they're younger and when you're older. The experiences are quite different. Now, for me, I just grew up into it. Like, I grew up and knowing that, hey, I actually don't have my parents.
So you didn't have an experience of them being around and doing certain things.
Maybe they used to do this for me.
Now
it's not done.
It was just the norm.
Yes, I grew up without them. So what I got is what I thought I deserved. Or was meant to be. But I can't lie. I can't sit here and lie to the people or you that life was as smooth or I never had these moments of breakdown. I did. Because, for example, you'd go to somebody and ask them this and they wouldn't give you. And you're like, oh, maybe because these are not my actual parents. Sorry for using it in that perspective. And so it would, put you on low a little bit. There are times I needed somebody to come to school to check on my books, to do that. Nobody ever came all my life.
From senior 1 to senior 6?
From C1.
Wow.
To senior 6.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel extremely sad.
But
then, at the end of the day, I was like, but they're doing their best. At the end of the day.
But you are very mature, understanding child.
You had to. And then, I think God just blessed me with self-realization. There's nothing
I think so.
There's nothing that you can tell me right now that can affect me. No, nothing, absolutely nothing. But still, it came from childhood. So here's the thing. I knew there were no parents, so I was in this world with God. Yes. So what my relatives...
And I think you made that reconciliation within yourself at a very early age.
I said, if I ask and they don't give me, it is okay. Maybe they don't have.
What a child.
Yes, maybe they don't have.
Me, I was a very narcissistic child. If I ask and they don't give me, they don't love me,
And
they
then
don't care about me.
For me, I knew that the only way somebody would do something willingly and faster for you is when you were good. So if they sent you to the shop, run, don't walk, run fast as you can and come back here. They tell you go and wash the plates, run, don't even say, oh, I'm tired. No, there were no times for that. Run as fast as you can, wash the plates. Oh, Dennis, I don't have you be the first one to volunteer. In fact, even today, I'm in spaces where I want to volunteer because of back then, So when you find something, clean it. So whenever you're staying with somebody, you're like, but this boy, he's so good. He's so respectful. He works so hard. Let me support him in school. And just like that, somebody says, this boy. For example, my cousin Farida, my sister, beautiful. I love her to the core. She recently we're having a conversation. I'm like, we're talking about how children lately are not, they don't know what to do. They are always waiting to be told. And I'm like, I don't remember waiting to be told. She's like, yes, and that's why I liked you. That's what she said. She's like, for you, you come in a space and you do things, you make things happen. And I'm like, oh, really? And that's how she was able to like me. And because why was I liked and not everybody else? Because we were very many in the village or at home that needed really help. Why did they choose to help me? It wasn't because I lost my parents, no, as much as it could have played a factor, but it's because I was equally very humble boy, respectful, and so forth and so on. I never waited to be told to do something. And so
you would bring value to everywhere you went.
Everywhere I went. Because I didn't grow up in one home. Trust me, I went to several homes. For example, in my pre-primary, I was in Kenya with my auntie. In primary 1, I was with another auntie in Uganda. In primary 2, I was with another auntie somewhere. And then in primary 3, 4, and 5, I was with another auntie in the village. And then when I came to senior 1, I was with my dad that I recently lost. And may his soul rest in eternal peace. I was with him. No, in senior 1, I was with my other auntie. I have 5 aunties. So I literally stayed at all of their homes. And then in senior 2, I went to my dad. My uncle, actually, who is my dad, because I grew up seeing him as my father. So I was there from senior 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And so I grew up in different homes. I picked different traits from different people. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're able to, get this kamane from people that you...
Yes, that would help me get transport on a day.
So does that mean that at the end of the month, you would find that even your salary your tips are more than your salary?
Yes. All the times I was there.
And that was able to help you to cater for...
But even at times, because it wasn't enough still, because there are times you would want to buy maybe textbooks or go on research and stuff like that. Where I didn't afford or I couldn't manage, I definitely called back my dad and my sister.
And they helped you.
Trust me.
They came through.
Even if not immediately, they'll be like, hey, Dennis, I don't have money now, but give me a day or 2 or 3. I don't know. May God bless them. They just loved me. I don't know how I would have made it without them. So I can't sit here and say that because of work. No. It's because of them. Yeah.
So after now, how long do you do the course and what do you do?
So the course was about 2 years.
Okay.
And after graduating, I said goodbye to Total. Worst decision ever.
You said goodbye immediately because you're like,
Yes, because like
now I'm a journalist.
yes,
what
blah, blah.
what can you tell me?
Thinking, not even that, not
Yeah.
from that perspective.
Okay.
I'm a very respectful person. Like they say in Uganda, Jehova toyombye,
Jotero kuda.
Jotero kudda. So
Yeah.
I rarely leave some place, in a bad way. I usually live in a good.
So you didn't feel like you were bigger than the place or better than the place or bigger than the
No,
job?
I just wanted to do something that I studied.
Oh, okay.
Because journalism was in my blood.
Veins,
Like
yeah. In your
I
DNA.
wanted to do this. So after graduating, I went on to look for a job. Very worst decision of my life. That was leaving Total without getting a job.
Yeah.
Yes, because now it meant I'm going back to the streets. But for me, I thought you graduate, you get the job immediately,
Yeah.
maybe a month after and stuff like that. Because I also knew I had all it took.
Like an X factor.
Yes. It was a lie, I didn't have it.
Okay.
But I thought I did.
Tell us how you find out.
So I go out there with my friend Douglas. We shoot a video. I had a laptop and a camera. So we shoot a video of me anchoring. And in my
a demo.
a demo of sorts.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I went around with, showing people that, hey, I can actually anchor, I can actually report, I can actually do this. Because even in school, I was very, very hands-on, me personally. So the first place I went to was NTV. But unfortunately, I was heartbroken because the person that I found there told me, oh, we don't employ diploma holders. And then you don't have experience, as though they give experience in school. And so many other things that they told me. They were hurtful words, but they were encouraging ones at the same time.
But why did this person say that? Because I've seen
maybe
people who don't even have who have not even have maybe not gone to O level.
Yeah, because they know you. Yes. The whole technical know-how.
Okay.
Yes. If you can, maybe I'm of your tribe. I'll be more lenient to you. Yes, it happens everywhere.
Okay.
If I'm of this race and you're of the same race, I'll tend to want to compromise a few things. But I mean, you just walked in from nowhere. You're even in Mugisu. Me, I'm of another tribe. You understand? It's a little bit different. Sorry for putting it in
another tribe,
I don't want to mention the tribe.
Okay.
Because somebody will say I'm being sentimental.
Okay.
Because they were of a different tribe person. So I was referring to what you're saying, that you've seen people with no papers getting jobs. It's because they were either recommended by somebody on top, or they are relatives or related, or there's a kind of way they know. But randomly walking and you don't have papers, and also it could have been a miracle. But here's the thing. I walk in and this person tells me all those things, very hurtful. But while I was moving out, I meet a lady who inspires me. Her name is Agnes Nantutu. Now, Agnes Nantutu is a Mugisu.
Oh, okay.
So when I see her, I kind of say, Makwagali. Yeah, I greeted her in our language. I was like, hi. I'm Denis Waniala. Oh, Denis. So he spoke in our language. What brings you here? I'm like, oh, I'd come here, but I've been disappointed a little bit. I've been told this, like, oh, no, sorry. So she encourages me. She's like, Denis, it's okay. That happens in the workspaces. Number one, go and get a job in those other TV stations that will be able to accommodate you. While at it, perfect your skills. While at it, go back to school and upgrade. They'll look for you. And they did look for me afterwards. But here's the thing. I was still energized to get the job. I went to NBS. So I went to NBS with the same demo. This person, there's a lady who received me. I don't know why ladies have always been amazing to me. There's a lady I met there, Eunice Nakanwanji, something like that. I've got the name kind of confuses me a bit. But yes, she's called Eunice. She used to be in the news department. She welcomes me very, warmly, and she's like, oh, you're good. But I don't do recruitment. I don't do employment. So you talk to the other person. The other person equally tears me down, keeps me up and down, toils me here and there, and until I get frustrated. So while I was there frustrated.
But didn't you ever think maybe I need to change the demo? Didn't you ever ask for some
No,
constructive
the demo was
feedback?
good. The demo was amazing. Trust me.
Did they
I think
ever
I
tell
still
you?
the demo didn't have a problem. They were only having a problem with me because I wasn't experienced.
Okay.
Where have you worked before? I'm from school.
okay.
No, really, you don't. You know. Then, but one thing that they loved, even the guy at NTV, the person at NTV, it wasn't a guy. The person at NTV loved my voice. It was like, wow, you have a good voice. It's for broadcast. But sadly, this and this and that, we can't have you on. The same thing with the person at NBS. They liked everything, but they couldn't give me the job. So while I was still there struggling, somebody at the then WBS TV calls me and like, hey Duke, we heard you are a good news anchor. I don't know who told them.
Oh.
Yes, because I'd not done news anchoring anywhere. Maybe because I shared with a lot of people. So I was called in, went there and did screen test, and they gave me the job immediately. No hassle, no nothing. Yes, they gave me the job.
So you did news on WBS?
Yes, I was doing news, but I didn't do the anchoring because they had wanted a sports news anchor. And that's what I was called in for, but I had to train for a couple of months because I didn't know sports. I don't watch sports even today. I'm not a fan of sports.
Okay.
So when I go there as a sports news anchor, but also a sports reporter. So I started with reporting. Within 6 months, I left. Yeah, because I had gotten a better opportunity.
And what was the opportunity?
The opportunity was to join Vision Group.
Okay.
Now, not to join Vision Group as an employee, but as an intern.
Why did you choose that?
Because WBS at that time was
WBS
shrinking.
had given you a contract, an employment contract?
But they were not paying me. They had not paid me. At that time, WBS was equally going through
hard times.
Very hard times. So majority of people, even those that had phoned there, were not, some of them had not been paid for a couple of months. So I just joined the queue.
Oh.
So I was really, you're still young.
Yeah.
You have this passion for this, but again, something that pays you. Yeah. So that's when I connect with my very nice good friend. I pray she goes through to Parliament, Mary Flavia Namlendwa.
She was your friend before
I was her fan.
Vision Group.
I was her fan.
So you were her fan?
I used to watch her on TV.
No way.
And from nowhere we connected.
Okay.
Now I can comfortably say she's my good friend.
Okay.
She's a call away. I can call her and she picks and she's like, hey Duke, where are you? Let's meet up for coffee. Let's do this. And that's the kind of relationship. So I kind of talk to her. She's like, hey Duke, actually come around. Let's talk about it. So I go there. We talk. I can't do Uganda, so she can't take me on for Bouquet Day, even if she had somebody to talk to, even if there was an opportunity. I'm a Mugisu, purely Mugisu. My
but Luganda you can speak Luganda. Like
Luganda.
It's tricky.
Yes, you really, for professional, for journalism purposes, you need to be very really fluent at a language. Even if it's not prolifically 90 or 100%, at least 90%, there they can give you, the job. So Mary Flavia calls me, she hands me over to another amazing, beautiful woman.
And where does Mary Flavia now pick you from? Does she see you on WBS or do you reach out to her?
So now I started reaching out to her via via Facebook.
Oh, okay.
Then eventually I got her number, small like that. But she was amazing. Like, let me tell you, she's an amazing person. She talked to me when I was a nobody. She listened to me when I was nothing. That's how amazing she is. It wasn't like, why are you even wasting my time? I don't know you. You don't know me. She's like, hello, Dennis, blah, blah, blah. Oh, okay. There's no opportunity, but you can come. Let's talk about it. Let's see what happens. So I went there, talked about it. But then I couldn't do Uganda. So she's like, okay, no, there's a ban. Let me talk to a colleague of mine, Emily, and see if there's an opportunity. If there is, she will take you on. So she talks to Emily Mwebaze Chikazi. I love her, my mother. I call her mommy. She's an amazing person, very sweet woman out there. May God bless her and everything she touches. So Mary Flavia now joins me to Emily Mwebaze. Now, Emily takes me on as her child. Yes. There were no opportunities at that time. At Urban. Yes, but I did a screen test because I wanted anchoring news, my friend. Sadly, I never got the opportunity. They gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And it's not because I wasn't good, but because of
The same
company
issues.
policies. Yes, not even company policies, but company politics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics at workplaces. Do I know you? Who recommended you? And so forth and so on. Something like that. So I miss out on the job. But while I was there, I started doing as an intern. I remember my first story was reporting about campaigns in Makerere University. And I'm so proud that Roy Semboga, he's definitely going to Parliament. He's the one I started with the reporting. I did my first interview on him and stuff like that. So for like 1-2 times, I kept going. They used to take my stories and they would publish them. No pay, of course, because I was an intern. So here's the thing. Why did I choose to become an intern when actually at WBS I was a full employee? Why? Because how you get into the company does not matter as long as you get there. So it does not matter. Come in as a cleaner, get into the company. Come in as a delivery boy or delivery girl, enter. Come in as an intern, enter. Find your foot somewhere. But as long as you're in the company, chances are high. Within a couple of months, 3, 4, 5, 6, you're going to get employed. How? Usually opportunities come around, but if you're outside the company, you won't know about them. When you're in here, you'll know about them because they'll put them maybe at the notice board, you'll read, or somebody will say, oh, by the way, Duke is here. He can actually do that. And that's exactly what happened. 1 month while I was there, somebody got fired because of maybe poor time management and several other reasons. There were video editors. I'd previously done video editing, but in school, learning at school, not something really professional. So I wasn't very confident, but people picked confidence in me and they said, you can actually do it. We shall teach you. There's a gentleman called Paul Waniala. He's also a Mugisu. He's like, Dennis, I'll teach you. Within 3 days, I was able. In fact, the first day I started, I was able to edit things to go on air. Yes, because of his help and, the rest of the team. So that's how I get into the company. But guess what? I was never paid for that work for about 8 or a year so. Yes, for the editing work that I did. All I got was 10,000 transport per day.
Per day?
Yes.
And what were you doing to now sustain your other expenses, like,
So
shelter?
Life was hard. Life was really hard. And then I had a child. I had a child before coming to Kampala. I had my first daughter in 2012.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
You had the child when you were done with senior 6?
I was actually in my senior 6 when I got my firstborn. She's now I'm proudly father of a 13-year-old child.
Wow.
Yes. Beautiful girl, very amazing, very brown, she's my photocopy.
Oh.
Yes. So I had a child to take care of. I had my rent.
So where was your child now at this point?
My child was still in Bali by then.
With your
No, with her mother.
Okay, with her mother.
Yes. Now, life was extremely hard, honestly hard. I couldn't afford it. And at one point, I almost left. But those of Mary Flavia kept supporting me. In fact, I remember one day I cried to Mary Flavia and I told her, no, you know what? I know you wish me this. You want me to be here, but I cannot. I remember. I cried. She's like, Dennis, what is it? What's the problem? Is it rent? Okay, take 100K, go and pay that rent. My mom, Emily, as well. What is it, my son? Rent, Bantwala. Okay, take 100K. That's why I love them. So while I was still there trying to figure out, of course, there are times you would get a gig. Now I had gotten better at editing, video work. Then I had a camera, I would shoot some for some people. So you get like a small, but it wasn't still sufficient because every day I would use like 15,000 on transport, maybe 10,000 on food. Yet they were giving me 10,000. So I had to find ways of survival. While I was still there, but they had promised that they would pay me when I get the contract. No, New Vision, they don't pay you. They don't pay you until you get the contract.
The last.
Yeah, because it's
all the 8 months they didn't pay you.
Yes, they were going to pay me like just cumulatively, 8 months. He was maybe earning $1 million. Okay, this is his money for the 8 months, but I was never paid. I don't know if I'm sorry and unfortunately a bush person, but I was going to, if I wanted to, I would have followed up. Why was I never paid? I would actually sue them.
So why didn't you follow up?
Maybe I was.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I was a nobody by that time. Right now, I would put them on social media. Yes, trust me. Right now, I would put them on. Yes. Right now, they would actually pay 1 billion shillings.
Yeah.
But then, of course, I didn't have as much to do. So I mean, that given me the contracts, I was now going to.
So they give you the contract after
after 8 or 1 year. Yes. So now I start. It was actually strictly 8 months. Wasn't a year.
Okay, 8 months. You get a contract, and this contract is for you being an editor.
Yes. Now fully.
And how much was your first salary?
My first salary was 859. It would fluctuate depending on the days I worked, because every day I used to work for 35,000.
Oh, okay.
Every day 35,000. I would. But now things have, of course, changed. Depends on what you've done. But back then it was strictly 35. So me, what I did, I would work for. There are Sundays I would work. In a month I would miss like a Sunday or two. Then the rest of the weeks I would work because I wanted to make money to increase. So it would roughly be like 860 to between 850 to 1 million monthly. Yeah. So now I start earning, and before you know it, I become a reporter, and now life changes. Of course, it changes because this is something I wanted to do for a very long time, reporting and news anchoring. But the news anchoring took longer. Took about maybe 3 years to happen.
And you're still at Urban?
Yes, I was still at Urban. I was still doing different screen tests every time they came on, because these guys keep changing. Somebody gets a better offer at another TV, they leave. There's a vacuum that needs to be filled. I go and do a screen test. They don't give me because of company politics. But it wasn't that I wasn't good. I was good.
And how many times did you try? 7
times.
And on the 8th time?
I went through.
8 is a number of money. I think that's why you have a lot of money now.
I don't know about the money you're talking about. God gave me the money. So here's the thing. I want young people to know that having tried it once and it failed doesn't mean that it won't happen. Second time doesn't happen. Third time it didn't happen. 5th, 6th, 7th, until the 8th time that it happened. And I started.
And even when it happened, you did not know it was going to happen.
Because me, I thought it was the same random thing. God, do it and just do it. In fact, the last time I was forced to do it, like, Dennis, I did. I was like, I've done it a lot of times. Like, they can't give me here. So really, let me just stick where I am. And then when I went, apparently on the board, there were other people who were very, open-minded, and they really wanted talent, not just because they knew me, but somebody who could represent the values that they wanted in a news anchor. And at that time, it was me. So, but prior to that, I was a reporter and I did exceptionally well to a point that I started covering the president. It doesn't come so easy, being assigned to the first person in Uganda. Yes. So I started covering President Museveni's events.
All his events? So from Urban? Yes,
from Urban. In fact, sometimes as Vision Group, as the TV media staff, I would go.
Only in Uganda? Or even
No, I only did in Uganda, but also even other things that required moving out of the country, they always sent me.
They always sent you? So you traveled around Africa?
I can comfortably look into the camera and say, I am good. I was good at what I do. Here's how I was good. I would do news for Urban in English. I would do news for Bucket Day in Luganda.
You were doing news for Bucket Day in Luganda?
Yes, but because it's the same. No, I do go to the what?
Tele.
No. I go to the site to where the news is.
Okay.
I capture for Urban in English. I capture for Bucket in Luganda. I send them my scripts in English. They transcribe, but I have bites in Luganda. So if I'm interviewing you for a news bite, I'll get, if you're a Mnyankole and you're comfortable with Mnyankole, you'll give me a Mnyankole for TV West. If you know some Luganda, you'll give me for Bucket Day. And of course, English, you'll give me for Urban TV. And then the same script that I've sent in for Urban can be turned it into a news story on the website of New Vision or even in the newspapers. because I just take your picture and I forward the same script, just changing a different. I used to even give it to them and they change it to the formats they wanted it to do. So one-man army is what I'm talking about. I remember when they sent me to Somalia, I was one representing the entire vision group. Yes. So that's how good I was. I can do texts, I can do video, I can do voice, I can do on camera. That's why it's very important as a journalist or even out there. You need to be good at what you're doing and ensure that you do multiple things, not one thing.
So did all of this value you brought to Urban TV, was it compensated in the way you felt you wanted to be compensated?
At that time, it was compensated very well because at that time,
you feel so?
It's that. Yes, but now
at that time you feel that's...
Yeah, now I feel I should have earned more.
Oh.
Yeah, because if you're doing... let me tell you.
Okay, but at that time you were happy.
Yeah, I was happy. I was able to pay for my rent, pay for my child's school fees, help my family back home and do a couple of other things, really. It was enough.
So how long now do you do the news anchoring?
I was there for about 3 to 4 years until 2018. I remember December 4th when my contract was terminated.
It was terminated?
Yes, it was terminated.
Why?
Because the program was changing.
Okay.
The direction, they were dropping some programs. It wasn't that I was bad or I wasn't good at my job. I was very good. But the news segment was being dropped or it was being realigned. The station, Urban has had its own share of challenges as well. I think it's off air right now.
Yeah, it's off air.
So it has had its own share of challenges for the last couple of years. It was in existence. So on that day, 4th December, I was home. I get a call, fired. I'm like, okay, you're kidding me. Yes, your contract has been terminated. I'm like, it cannot be. Because for me, in my own perspective, and again, not in a bad way, because Vision Group is still home. I go there. I still have a lot of business with them. But that for me was really unfair. To just...
What do you think they would have done?
Yes, you give me a month or two.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and say, hey.
So it was like,
guys,
if we are done now, finish.
Yes. In fact, some people wanted to... I don't know if they went to court. Me, I just left it. I didn't want to go because, Jehovah told you, yes.
So what do you do after? How did you react when you received that call?
It was a sad day because my dreams had been shattered. Remember, I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be on TV. And now they've said they've cancelled the contract. So that meant I didn't have a job.
Did you have savings?
Not as a journalist, we weren't paid that much to really have a lot in the savings account, really. All the monies we got were for survival. What is 1 million to you right now? I was sleeping in a house of 300,000 shillings. So I remained with 700. 10,000 per day, that's 300,000 shillings per month in transport. 5,000, 4,000.
Food.
Yes, food, 10,000 a day. Exactly, clothing.
Your child.
By the end of the day, you have 100,000 shillings in savings or 200,000 shillings, really. How much would it take you to get 1 million? Maybe 5 months to get 1 million in savings. You get. So life was quite not balancing.
What did you do next?
So what did I do next? I wanted to go into personal things before. I didn't want to look for any other job. But while I was there still trying to figure things out, Joyce Bagala, again, another lady coming into my life. She's the member of parliament for Mityana municipality. Currently, yes, on the NUP card.
Joyce Bagala
calls me up and says, hey, Duke, I understand your contract was cancelled. Could you come in office? We could work out something. Just like that. She reached out and I went and met her. She's like, oh, we have this opportunity. We're looking for a chief bureau for our Hoima, but to represent the Western region. A chief bureau is like somebody who heads all the reporters in that region. So before they work on the things, they have to report to you. Then you report to your news handler in Kampala. So I would work for NBS as a chief bureau for Hoima, or Western Uganda. So I go in there and yes, we agree on a few terms. There's a specific pay for that. And so are you ready for working tomorrow? I came in. So the rule was in Kampala, before you're deployed to Hoima, you had to stay in Kampala for about 2 weeks to get familiarized with the system. How do we work here? How do we do our lives? Of course, going through that initiation training. The first day I went on TV, King Karisa himself told Joyce Bagala, I want that boy in Kampala.
When you went on TV to report?
Yes, the first day I was on TV.
From Hoima?
No. In Kampala. Okay. Remember, I told you, I'm staying in Kampala. I've been given the job. But the requisition is I stay in Kampala for 2 weeks, getting familiarized with the system. The first day, which was the next day after our conversation, because I started immediately. I didn't want to wait. What if they change their minds?
Yeah.
I was very ready. Mm-hmm. And so the next day, I come in office, start working. In the night, I went and did a live session for court. I remember court was deliberating on, I think, the term limits or something around that time. So I went there, I did my stuff. Normally, there wasn't much I was expecting. That night, Joyce calls me, hey, Duke, do you know that Ken actually likes you? I'm like, what do you mean he likes me? He has told me to keep you for Kampala. You're not going to Hoima. I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, you're not going to go to Hoima. You're going to stay in Kampala. In simple terms, Mr. Ken is a person who identifies talent and wants to nurture it and develops it. He always wanted the best to be within Kampala, the cream to be at Kampala to do his work. And he's an amazing guy, honestly. That's all I can say. He looks at talent. He loves to nurture talent. Yes.
Yeah. I have had many people say the same.
Yes. So Mr. King tells Joyce he's staying in Kampala. And that's how I start working. And I stay in Kampala. Worked a couple of months. But remember, my conversation with them was as a chief bureau. The payment for a chief bureau and somebody in Kampala quite different. The terms and benefits needed to be upgraded, which apparently that never happened. But I worked regardless. I was very good.
So you stayed on the other
agreement
and the same salary?
Yes, everything stayed as it was. But Kampala meant we needed to go back to the drawing table and renegotiate and say, okay, for Kampala, because things are quite expensive, transport here is quite expensive and stuff like that, maybe increase it to this much, do this much for me, I need this and that, insurance and all that. So we never got to get that. It kept on happening for a couple of months until one time when I felt like the person in charge wasn't really minding a lot about it. One morning I woke up and said, I'm actually bringing back the work ID. I'm quitting. So the gentleman...
And this is in a space of
about 6 months, was it? 5-6 months. And when I said that, he said, no, Dennis, come into office. Let's talk. We talked. There's a little bit of an agreement we reached upon. But when I went back home, I looked at it, analyzed it, and felt like as much as we had agreed, it wasn't
worth the value that you bring to the table.
Yes.
And at this point, what gives you the confidence? Because we look at the Urban story where you are not able to stand up for yourself or speak up.
At Urban,
but now you're now you feel confident.
Yes, now I feel confident because number one,
what is giving you that
on table experience.
Okay.
I've done all my mistakes. Remember what Agnes Nadoto told me: go all make your mistakes, get better. I was better. I was not a trainee. Yes, I bring to the table a couple of years of experience, expertise that didn't happen overnight. It took me a lot of years to be able to deliver those crafts. And then I was working way more compared to when I was at Urban, because I would wake up at 5, go do the morning show, morning lives, would meet and interview people in the morning, sometimes go to a road, sometimes do an update on something. I would do that, then go do news, go to the field, gather news, get beaten tear gas sometimes and chiboko. And then in the evening, you haven't seen that happen. Then in the evening, I would frequently do live. I was good. I can't say that what, but I was good. I was doing good, really. So I thought maybe I deserved more than what I had initially wanted. So because of that, of course, I had an expectation that I wanted to be filled in terms of payment, but we didn't go there. They reached some, I don't say that they didn't increase, they increased.
So
but
what,
somewhere,
in terms of financially, they increased the money?
but not to where I wanted it.
What did you want? How much did you want?
I can't say it on TV.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly.
Okay.
Because those are quite private,
No problem.
private issues, not just for me, but for the company. Like I said, I respect every company that I've worked for because, I mean, we're here. Who knows? Maybe I would go back.
Okay.
Who knows?
So now you feel like the terms are not matching the value
Yes,
you bring to the
but
table.
also for the fact that the demands and the needs had increased. My daughter was growing.
Okay.
I needed to go to better schools. I needed to get married. I needed to take care of my family.
So now you had found you needed to get married?
Yeah, I needed somebody, but I mean, with the pay being little, which girl are you going to date in Kampala with the 1 million salary? Again, I'm not saying that dating is all about money, but
Yeah.
even if we dated today, there is a difference between when we dated back then.
Yeah.
Yes,
Like
right now you're
dating of 2000.
Yes, it's different
dating
now because now
2025.
maybe you drive. You need to facilitate your fuel sometimes. You know, you're staying in an apartment, maybe 1 million, and I've never contributed not even a single month. Really, it doesn't make sense. And not because I don't want, but I'm unable.
Yeah.
Because the job doesn't give me as much.
Where you're putting your time.
Yes,
you're not getting.
Exactly. So if I'd worked for about 10 years or 7 years, I'd never bought even a bicycle.
Yeah.
That's how weird it was. And when I quit my job, I bought my first car in 1 year.
Okay, so
do you see the difference?
I see the difference.
I'd worked for 7 years or 8 years with literally no bicycle. 1 year after quitting my job, I have a car. It meant I was working in a wrong system.
So you go back home?
So yes, I go back home, I think about it, and I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. It's one of the most risky decisions I've made in my life, quitting, but it's one of the most paying, rewarding decisions I've ever made in my life.
So what do you do after you make the decision?
So I make the decision, I quit, my friends call me stupid, my family understands because they knew where I was coming from, how much I wanted this. If I really decided to quit, it's because it wasn't giving me what I expected. So I quit, I go into personal things. Boom.
Now, where do you start from?
There is no.
What was your first move?
How? After 3 months of quitting, or 4, while I was still trying to figure things out.
Did you have savings? And now, did you have savings at least?
That's why I said it was the risky venture. Right now, I don't have savings, but I can't lack. Because the different investments I've made at least bring in money every day.
That is different.
Yes.
Because then you had zero investment,
exactly.
Zero.
So here's the thing.
So where do you start from? What was your first move?
Before the first move, I quit, and while I was still trying to figure things out, because I quit without a plan. That's why I tell people, do not quit your job.
And this is the second time you were doing that.
I'm doing it. I think I did not learn.
And then from...
no, but here, I honestly don't know what was on my mind. Here. Back then, I had a lot of courage and thinking that things were going to work out. Here, I just woke up and left Doreen. Some people, how? I can't have an answer. Why? I just woke up.
So it was very intuitive.
Yes. But I've always believed that God works in different ways. He will direct you. And I think God directed me. I didn't know how, but I said, God, lead me. So here's the thing. I quit 4 months down the road. The country gets locked down because of COVID.
2020.
Yes, because I quit in 2019. Wow. A few months down the road, the country...
2020 March.
Yes, by COVID-19. Lockdown everywhere. It meant I wasn't moving. Doreen. Life was hard. Let me even say it in a silent voice. My goodness. Life was extremely hard because I didn't have enough savings to keep me going.
How hard was it?
I could not afford myself.
Whoa.
But remember, I had somebody relying on me.
So what did you do?
Great. while I was still there, I think the lockdown gave me a bit of push in terms of mental capacity. It meant that we needed to think much faster, better to be able to cope with the current. If I usually tell this to people that if COVID-19 never taught you anything, if you didn't scratch your head hard enough during that time, there's never going to be a situation that will put you onto that position to think. It put me into the position of thinking. That's where I start.
And most of the businesses that were actually created during or after COVID have seen like exponential growth.
Yes, because it meant that you needed to go back to the drawing board and rethink how this idea could, work it out. So here's the thing. And that's when I start my content creation journey, because we were home. I had the gadgets, I had my computer, I had camera. So I said, what next? Let me do content. I started doing content. So content would pay me, small dollars here and there.
So at that point, you knew that content was going to pay you?
Yes,
I knew. Which platform did you start with?
I started with YouTube and then went on to Facebook and the rest of the thing. So here's the thing. Started YouTube, started at the comfort of my living room meanwhile.
So you would just set the camera,
talk about
anything.
Yes. I then realized that the content I was creating for TV is the same content I'm creating for YouTube, because it's the same, honestly. Because now, the only difference is now I am my own producer, I'm my own presenter, I'm my own cameraman, my only literally
scriptwriter,
everything. So everything you've seen for the last 5 years has been out of my small, big head, to say. So I started doing content. I started doing my videography. I perfected my videography. So when they opened the country, the economy now, I started moving out, capturing videos. I started working out with a couple of companies meanwhile. They would hire me to move with them, do documentaries for them. Yes, that gave me a little bit of shift. And then my content kept growing, and to where I am today. And so things just started working out.
How long did it take you to get monetized on YouTube?
1 month.
1 month?
Yes.
What did you do?
I have a big following on Facebook. I capitalized on that.
Also, you were doing shots of the videos and posting on YouTube and driving the traffic?
Yeah, driving traffic from Facebook to YouTube. Yeah, that is one. But also, I was very good. I was very intentional. Always. Everything can work out if you're intentional, if you work hard. Things work out. It doesn't necessarily you don't necessarily have to be popular or famous on another platform.
So how intentional were you?
How intentional was I? Because I knew the future was content. Right now, I was going to say something. Right now, content is the future. Content, in fact, not the future. We are now in the future.
Yeah.
Because back then, that was it. Right now, you cannot meet me for a discussion unless you've paid for that.
Discussion on what?
Whether business, or you want to see me, you want to pick my mind on something. Unless I know you on a personal level. If I don't know you, you have to pay for meeting me.
And how much do you charge?
$100 for starters. That depends on what you want.
So what does someone get when they give you this $100?
So what do you want to get when you contact me to meet me?
It's exactly what
you give you. Yes. So it's because somebody has seen value in you, maybe value in what you're speaking, value in what you're doing. So they want to pick your mind on a similar project, or could be different, but they think you could contribute quite massively on it. So I kept growing. So you have to develop what we call value. Yes. Why should somebody not go on YouTube and look for that subject matter, or Google and come to you? It's because they think you'll have more experience. You'll have experienced it personally on a personal level. And so they will come out to you.
So which kind of areas do people mostly come to you for?
Business, farming, and content. Yes. Sometimes people want to start businesses. So what I do is you give me your idea. I think it's just it's a God-given gift.
Yeah.
You give me an idea and I look at it from my perspective. I give you the disadvantages, and it is, honestly speaking, it's not like I am
you've read or studied or whatever.
You give me your idea.
It's inherent.
I look at
It's
it
in
from
you.
my perspective. I tell you, this is good, this is bad. 90% of the times I've been right.
Is there any time that you've been wrong?
Yes, that's why I'm leaving the 10%. But 90% of the times I've been right. And there are people that I told not to do certain things, but they went ahead because maybe they didn't think I was good enough and they went ahead and did it. It never worked. Just the same way I predicted it would not work. And they've always come back to me. The good thing, they always come back and say, Dennis, I wish I'd followed you. Now I'm back. What do we do? Of course, I charge more when you've come back because I know you've now messed up. So now we do it again and they work out. So here's the thing. You come with your raw ideas. I rarely give I want to give people ideas. You know why? Because I want something to come from you.
Yeah.
Think about everything that you could imagine possibly of and bring them to me. And let me select one for you. If I give you something from me, it is me. It is me that has seen it. It's me that has the vision. Literally everything. I've calculated everything from my perspective. And it's because me. You, what do you want? Every time somebody comes, Dennis, I'm looking for an idea to do. I have 5 million, 10 million. I ask them, what do you want? What are your inspirations? What are your likes, your interests? It's best to do something within your interest, unless you tell me you don't have any, which I find very odd. So you come with your ideas, as vague as they are. I try to organize them. And that's what I do. Yes, so I meet up people, paid up consultation, and sometimes I tell them what they don't want to listen or hear. Because I'm not here to entice you. I'm here to give you because you've paid for it. Yes.
Do you remember the first video that went viral in that 1 month before you?
I never really got a viral video. They just performed.
They performed well.
Yeah, they just performed.
So you were able to reach the 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, and then by then we were doing 4,000 watch hours.
4,000 watch hours.
And it's very easy. I can actually start a YouTube channel today and get monetized in a week.
Hmm?
Yes, right now. I can start a channel today. Today is what? Today is Friday.
Today's Friday.
Friday, next Friday. It's monetized. I can do that because I know.
What would you do?
You want me to give you now? Those are the things you have to pay for. But not to brag, I can do it.
That's amazing.
Because number one, I have already an established platform,
Okay.
Facebook, Twitter. You just post my link, and I have 1,000 people. That's a walkover. They'll come through. And then content, I know exactly what type of content people are looking for.
Is it specifically in Uganda or YouTube as a platform?
I don't do content for Uganda.
Okay, so global, the global reach, what people are looking for globally.
Yes, globally. I never tell people to do content for Uganda. Never.
So you wouldn't advise anyone to do content in Luganda, Runyankore, like in our local language?
English. That's advisable. But if you know English, do content in English. Yeah, because you now have how many people speak in English in the whole world? Right. About maybe 1 to 2 billion. How many people speak Luganda? 100,000 people. Or 1 million. You know? No, actually, they are. How many Baganda are there?
I don't know.
Yes. So you look at the number of Baganda, then you add other tribes that equally speak.
Oh, yeah.
But not all Baganda speak Luganda.
Yes, that's also there.
It's also true.
So what do you do now after you get monetized? Do you remember your first paycheck?
Yes, it was $350,000.
No way.
Yeah,
after 1 month?
$100. Yeah, no, after like 2 months, because the first month the numbers weren't really totaling up, but and then it kept growing. And then my first paycheck, you asked for my first paycheck, that was about $100.
$100.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I think
around 3,500,
350,000. How did you feel?
Extremely happy. It's like getting money out of thin air.
Yeah.
You get.
Yeah, it's like miracle money.
Yes. Like you're there just uploading things and then boom, somebody sends you a paycheck. I'm like, this happened. Actually, my first paycheck motivated me to work even harder.
Wow.
Yes.
What do you do after that then?
What do I do after that? I continue creating content. I continue doing my videography work. I continue doing promotion, advertising for people, meeting people, learning a couple of other skills. Because like I told you, for you to be able to survive in this world, you must be very, very knowledgeable. Not about one thing, about certain things. Being knowledgeable about one is good, but being knowledgeable about multiple things is better because you don't know when it's an opportunity strikes. Right now, I don't know what I do. I do a lot.
Yeah.
That's okay for me.
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen
why-
people say, concentrate. No, don't concentrate. Me, I'm not concentrating.
Yes, I think
Until I reach 40.
I feel like this whole notion of specializing or specialization
Limits
is
your,
an outdated.
limits your capacity as a person.
Yes.
And also, how sure are you that this is what you were meant to do?
That's the thing.
There are things I discover every day that I'm good at that I would never have discovered if
you
I'd
didn't
stuck with
do it.
one thing. Trust me, every day I'm like, yo, how did I even learn this? And for example, farming. Who knew that I would go into farming and become a face of farming? Nobody.
Where did the passion start from?
Man, at home we used to dig, but not like you would say
Commercially.
exactly. But I got, a few skills here and there and experience. But who from their mind would ever think that a journalist would leave journalism and go into farming? Definitely nobody.
What sparked your passion?
What sparked my passion for farming is I wanted to invest into something that would not really tie me down. Because with farming, I can program myself. A business ties you down most times. Businesses tie you down, but farming doesn't tie you down. I can say I'm going to work for 4 days or 3 days or at the farm. The rest of the days, I supervise or I tell my boys to do what I want them to do. Business, for your first 3 years or 5, you must be fully involved to learn on the job if you have not got experience elsewhere. And so, but also the need for farming is because when I was looking for farming, and actually that's why I started doing agriculture content, is because there was need for information. When I was starting, there was not as many YouTube channels as there are right now that were giving information. And even if they were there, they were giving limited information. Right now, I go and give them everything. Of course, I leave a few that I want people to consult on. I don't give you everything.
Okay.
Yes, so I give you what is more enough for you to start off something.
So after your YouTube channel gets monetized, you get your first paycheck. What do you do next?
What do I do next? In what terms?
What else? What other projects?
Oh, so now I start saving up and then I started my farm. Yeah, my farm was the first other project that I did. And then from the farm, we did rabbit.
You started with rabbits.
Yes,
and how big is the farm?
The farm is 2 acres. It's on 2 acres.
2 acres.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not very big, but we are looking at ways of, enhancing it. Maybe go on a full, big production. So we started with rabbit farming, and within a few years too, we opened up Sungura House with my partner. And
why rabbit farming among all the?
At the time when we were starting our farm, the feeds for chicken were quite expensive. And so somebody gave me an idea of rabbit farming. And I loved rabbits because even home we had raised rabbits as children. And so I started rabbit farming. And before you know it, I was very good at it. I became an expert at rabbit farming. People had started consulting with me. I'd done videos that were in hundreds and thousands of views, and I was really getting better. For example, I told you, whatever I choose to do, I make sure I'm good at it.
So you used to do the videos at the farm or even like?
At the farm. I started with my own farm.
Okay.
All my videos, the first videos were at the farm. Then the rest, I moved out and now started interviewing other people because I wasn't doing cattle, but there were people who were asking for cattle content. So I said, you know what, let me go out here and get content for them. So boom. I started shooting other people as well. And the journey has never stopped.
In Sungura?
So Sungura comes in the picture because we wanted to create market for our rabbits at the farm. Yes. One of the challenges that is affecting the rabbit business in Uganda and probably elsewhere is market. Where do you sell them? Rabbits are not very welcomed as chickens or as goats. So the consumption is
so it's not very mainstream. But do you think it's also
now
because
going there because of these different, efforts, collaboration and so forth, people are starting to eat the rabbit meat. So we wanted to get market for our rabbits, and Sungura House came into place, and we're never backing down.
So Sungura House is born from the farm, the rabbit
farm? From
farm?
the idea of the farm, yes.
And what funds now Sungura House?
Sungra funds itself, or at that time,
Yeah.
I teamed up with some people who have capital and we pulled things together. And those are the people I call. That's the person I call my partner. in
Your
business.
partner.
Yeah. You can't move alone in business. It's an outdated thing. It's a selfish thing that people have. For you to grow and develop financially, you need to team up. You just need to know who to team up, how to team up.
Exactly. I mean, I find, like teams, I feel like maybe other places, if you talk about like the US or all these other countries, they have mastered the art of partnership.
And that's how companies are able to grow on a large scale.
Yes.
Take, for example, Facebook. Do you know that Facebook is funded by billionaires who are not even at the level of who? Mark Zuckerberg.
Exactly.
Mark Zuckerberg just became rich recently, but the people who used to finance his companies were billionaires. So had he not given them an opportunity, he would probably be still struggling.
Yes. Oh, wow. That's well said when you say, had he not given them, but what about them giving him an opportunity? Because I feel like in Uganda, we don't value intellectual property.
No, it is Mark that gave them an opportunity.
We don't value ideas. When they're still in their idolation.
That's very true, because we lack a sense of learning the future. The people who invested in Mark while he was starting, they saw a dream that would turn millions of people around the globe. So here's the thing. How good is your idea? How good are you representing it? And so what does it speak for the future? Right now, I told you the content is the future. So if you do anything in regards to that, somebody will be willing, but you need to show them where it has to benefit them. I'll tell you that Facebook took, for example, a couple of years, was it 8 or 7 years, pre-profit. They weren't making any profits, but they were investing. So if he didn't have an investor who believed in his dream, probably he would never have reached where he is. So I would rather, again, I want you to quote me this very clearly. I would rather own a small share, a small portion of a bigger company than owning a bigger portion of a smaller company. I would rather own 1% of Facebook than owning 100% share of a small company like Sungram. Today it is small, definitely we shall be big in the future. But here's the thing, instead of you being a great shareholder of a company, own 10%, own 100%. The rest of the shares, let it be owned by other people who bring in resources that will boost this to reach unimaginable levels.
In Uganda, we have one of our biggest challenges, like we've been seeing lately. I've seen, like social media, like when you see people like Bruno K and Fanda, partner, or Sheila Price and Chicken. And then at the end of an event, it is very sour.
Yes.
Why is that, and how can we change that?
Values. Yeah, our values are different. My values are different from yours, but we all have values. So if I find a person who has the same values as I do, values of trust, honesty, well-wishing, people are selfish out there. You start up something, the thing starts growing better, and they want to kill you. They want to put you out of the company. Banang. People here don't wish others well. You start as poor boys, poor girls. The moment your thing starts working out, somebody wants to push you out of the company. That happens a lot. So it's only with people with small minds that do that, unfortunately. So here's the thing. I'm not saying go out there and meet people and team up. No, go out there and meet people, but with caution. Set the rules very straight. If it's a partnership, have a contract, have a binding thing that in case I died, my shares, you can never take them. They go to my people. So whether I die or I don't die, you don't benefit anything from my death. So you won't kill me after all. There's nothing you're benefiting from my death, because if I died, God forbid, my children or the person next of kin will come here and you'll have to account for the 50% that we've teamed up. So you need to put stringent rules and measures in place that guide both of you. If, for example, if I'm teaming up with a woman, the rule number one is we never get to date because dating kills relationships. So rule number one, we don't date. Rule number two, at the end of the month, maybe you have a pin to the bank account, you have 2 digits, I have 2 digits. You are a signatory, I'm a signatory. Like you put things in place that protect the both of you.
So I don't know the 2 digits, you don't know the...
Yes, I don't know the 2 digits. You have 2 digits,
possible?
I have 2 digits. Yes, it's possible.
Okay.
You go to the bank, and this bank guy equally doesn't know. So you randomly get, again, these are things you can do. You randomly get somebody that you will never find again, that I'll never find again to ask the next digits. You get the point. So we get the pin as a duo. We randomly walk on the street, grab somebody, hey, Tuyambeko, open this, tell this person the first 2 digits, tell me the first 2 digits, and he vanishes. Where will you find him? So that's one way. But also the second way is we are signatories to this account. We're signatories to this company. Open up a company, register it so that it is in all your names. But if you meet somebody on the street, he's your friend, you're like, let's team up and start up a company. No formal conversation, no lawyer involved, nowhere to sign. I mean, why don't I wake up one morning and fire you and steal the money and run? So you need to learn how to do business.
But Ugandans tend to feel like contracts are still not enough to bind you.
They are.
They
are just ignorant of the law. They are very, very enough. Even a WhatsApp conversation is enough to take you to court in case you misbehaved. I've seen it with my own eyes. I took somebody to court using emails. They didn't even sign, but they sent me an email. We had a conversation on WhatsApp. I used those ones. Those are called, what is it?
Evidence.
Online communication, something like that. Okay. I used it in court and they paid my money back. Full.
How do you determine a good part? How do you determine a potential, a partner that is right for you?
Or in business?
Yeah, in business.
Yeah, because I thought you were asking for marriage.
No.
So in business, number one, I told you the values.
Okay.
What are your values? What are my values? If we are starting up a media company, my values is for example, you drink, I don't drink. And then a company X comes and says, I want to advertise with you. There's going to be a contradiction there. You drink, I don't drink, right? Beer companies are out there looking for spaces to advertise. They'll come to us. So what do we do? What would we do? Me, my values don't accept alcohol, so I don't want...
But remember, we have the value of money, making money.
Money is not enough.
Money is
not enough, always. There must be something else. Values are more than money. So here's the thing. So if you want to work with somebody where you won't feel you're contradicting, you're Muslim, I am not. I eat pork. You do not.
By the way,
you get I'm not saying these are the general terms, but you want to avoid as many confrontations as possible, most especially when you're doing business. So for me, I'll be comfortable eating pork. I'll come here with pork, but you're not comfortable. So it kind of kills our relationship. But these are not like school taught. I'm just saying values. Values can vary across the divide.
Religious.
They can be religious.
Mindset.
They can be mindset. They can be goal-oriented. I'll be looking at how is Doreen oriented? What does Doreen want to achieve? Is she a go-getter? Is she somebody willing to walk the talk? Or she wants comfort? No, I want somebody that, like me, go out there, make things happen. That's the kind of person I want to associate with. Not that I can't associate with you, but if I were to choose, if there were 2 people that I wanted to work with, I will not choose you who is laid back. I'll choose somebody that has my values, that I believe in, somebody that believes in God. Yes, those are my values. Values vary depending on the individual. You could find your values that are not mine, and you are right. Those are your values based on where we were raised.
But values can also change, right?
Values can change. I can actually find you a very good business partner, but we are of different religious backgrounds. That doesn't mean that we don't work together. We can actually work together because I prioritized other values and neglected the religious one. Yes, I prioritized other values over the other.
So would you advise an entrepreneur out there that could be looking for a partner in business to have options, then vet them, not just find one person, stick to them and say, if I don't get this person on my team, then I'm doomed.
In life, you have to be open-minded. There's never a straight line to work to something. So it's going to have these panyas or these curves and all that. So you need to be open-minded. If something, even in marriage, actually, you can't say, oh, I want somebody with nyash. I want somebody with dimples. What if you get one with nyash but doesn't have dimples? For example, I'm obsessed with dimples. I'm obsessed with skin color.
Yeah.
I want somebody light-skinned. But what happens when I don't find somebody like that? Doesn't mean that, but they have other values. They're religious. They're God-fearing. It's only the color that they don't have. I'll be like, you know what? It's well. I'll take her on because she has other values. So it is not always a straight line to everything. So here's the thing. I'm not saying, and I'm not telling entrepreneurs to go out there and start teaming up with people. No, there are times when you have to team up. And here are the times when you cannot afford to run this $1 million project. You'll need help. Help by teaming up. People want to know, where do they get their money value from? So sell a few shares if your dream is big enough to be, invested in, so that you're able to grow faster, get a loan, like do things that will help you grow that business. What I was referring to earlier is Ugandans, Africans, we are very selfish with our ideas. We want to keep them to ourselves. We even go to the grave with them because we are selfish.
Big time.
You start up a business and then you want to own solely 100%.
But some people are also scared because they've been banned. Like, I remember when I started my first business when I was 19, the first partner that I had came in like, they're helping me. They're helping me do this thing as like friendly terms. When the business started making real money, because it's a kids events company, we're doing bouncing castles, cotton candy, face painting, talking about like 2000, maybe 9 or 19, 2009. Yeah, 2010. So if you're making $1 million shillings at an event, and sometimes 2 million, sometimes, they got greedy, and then eventually they were like, okay, you take 40, I take 60. But you are not interested in this business at the very beginning.
So here's the thing.
Yeah, so with that, now, because I was banned like that, I remember when I also introduced an event for kids, like 10,000 kids, 5,000 kids. I approached Silk Events. Actually, I had a friend of mine who was a cousin to Elvis. So we went to the office. There was this lady. She's really, really a nice lady. I think she's still working with them. She was like, okay. She was I think, the marketing manager. She's like, we like the idea. Let's partner with you. They were ready to do everything. Do you know, because of that experience, I was like, I need to protect myself, my idea. I was not open to say like, this is a good thing. But in hindsight, I'm like, wow, this could have literally started me big.
So
even like you said, own 10% of a big thing other than 100%
of a small thing.
Because I wanted to do the thing for like 3 years, but I was struggling only because of that experience.
Just because I said that people shouldn't go out there. Number one, you need to register your idea
before, like
go to your URSB.
I think people don't. Maybe most people don't have this information, or even
they don't know.
They don't see the necessity.
Even as a journalist,
of registering the company.
For example, if I developed a very nice idea and I took it to the radio station or TV, chances are high they may not give me opportunity, but they'll copy. So how do I protect myself? I come and tell them it's registered, it's blah, blah, blah. Anybody that starts something like this will definitely face legal implications.
So does that mean you have to?
Yeah, you go to URSB, and if it's to do with communication, you go to UCC and have it registered as well. The problem is you Ugandans, we don't want to do things formally.
Yeah,
So
we
face
just want to.
there is always
I have this idea. Let me go to the radio station. Let me get sponsors.
So you go out there and start speaking about your idea. Somebody comes and registers it. Keeps quiet. Before you know it, they come for you. You register your thing. You share it with somebody. They don't give you the funding. They go and do it. Where are you going to take them? Who are you going to convince that it's your idea? So first register it. First do something with it. Then have people come in. Whenever somebody comes to your team, make everything streamlined. For example, she came in or he came in and you did something and then all of a sudden he wanted 60%.
Yeah.
So it means you never had a conversation.
No.
Yeah, it was a friendship.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, never have business.
It was very
never mix
informal.
business with friends. Never mix pleasure with business. Never mix friendship, business. Never mix.
Also, I was young. I was 19.
Yes. That's why now we are telling them, you're 19, you're 20, you're 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Do things rightly. Even if you're my father, number one, let us put something in writing. Because now I know that even your own mother can turn against you.
Hey,
even your own father.
This is the cruel truth.
I think my father would never, I don't think my father would turn out. He can never. This one.
I really wouldn't stand for my parents myself, but I don't know.
My father would never. In fact, he was the only person who wanted me to do better than him.
Wow.
Yes. Your father is
that is very rare.
Yes. So even if we've seen these things happen, your mother turns against you, your sister turns against. So don't say, "Oh, I started a business with my sister." No formal. Your sister, okay, you've seen this. Why am I even talking about it? No. They're happening.
Yeah, they're happening.
You get killed because of a business that you started with a friend, with a sister, with your cousin, with
your mom.
Me, I don't entertain that. It's either legally binding. Anything that is not legally binding, I'm not doing it. Sorry. People have come with different business ideas. The moment I sense that there is nothing to do with legal binding, I'm out.
So after Sungura, what did you do next?
After Sungura, or there's nothing after Sungura, it's actually still there. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing a lot of consultation. Yeah, you talked about real estate? Yes, I'm also into real estate. I'm into construction. I'm also into buying and selling. Buying and selling real estate? Yes. Like land or even constructed houses? Land. Right now, I'm on my first project. Is it a house? Construction, yes. It's on a house. And is it on order? It's not on order per se, but the envision is different from what most people are doing here. So, but I've bought, I've sold, I've gotten a lot of other things to sell in the real estate sector that gives me the mandate to say yes. Okay, like if I build this house, I'm gonna sell it. Yes. So, and for example, in Uganda, if you invested 100 million, you double it 100%. You sell 200. Wow. Yeah. Real estate in Uganda is different from real estate elsewhere. In fact, I have a friend in Cameroon who said, "How much is land there?" I told him, it's like, Jesus is Lord. That's like a lot of money. In Cameroon, land is way cheaper than that. And so even in Kenya, or neighboring, Kenya is cheaper when it comes to real estate. Uganda is expensive. So there's a lot of, and it's why not a level like that? Fraud. Yeah, honestly. Fraud. Don't want to admit it on the camera, but fraud. It's the truth. I think. Here's the thing. Somebody steals 800 billion. Yeah. He comes to a village where land probably sells at 1 million an acre. He gives you 10 million. He will have raised that value of land in that area, but it's not the value of land in that area is not worth it. Wow. Because of different aspects of that area. Maybe the amenities haven't reached to that level. Yeah. You cannot tell me that land, how many of us can afford land in Kampala right now? A handful, just a few. Yeah. Because land has increased because of those different variations. There's a lot of fraud. People are doing money washing. They bring stolen money, they put into the real estate sector to wash it. So somebody comes and buys your building expensively, just so to account for the money, to wash it. And when they bring back, they think it's clean money. They invest dirty money, they bring back clean money. That's what is happening. Yes, so it has affected the whole sector big time. You find a house here selling at $2.5 million US. In America, a house is at $1 million. I always wonder, like, you get where in the US, US, first world country, a home of the same magnitude, same size, goes for $1.5 million, maybe 1.5 million US dollars. In Uganda, it is at $3 million US dollars. And you're like, no, this is not happening. But it is what it
We
is.
move.
Until maybe I become the president. So things will change.
Okay, so now real estate, what else are you doing?
What else am I doing? I'm into construction of farm structures, farm setups. You come and say, Dennis, I have 100 acres. What do I need to do with it? I sit down, we plan for it. We do the construction for you. We set up everything for you. We get for you workers. We purchase everything for you and we leave you going. The beauty with that, working with us, is you're assured of perfect work because we don't do things just because of money. We do things out of passion, but because we've been duped before, so we help people not to be duped. As simple as that. Yes. And that's the same aspect we are putting into the real estate. So because land has been told to be the most important thing somebody can own, which is actually not true.
What is the most important thing you think someone can own?
Life is first. Second is money. Third is land. If you have money, you can do anything. If you have land, you can't do everything. And here's the thing. People selling you the idea of if you own land today, you're rich, you're financial. No, darling, it doesn't happen like that. Actually, it is a bit of a contradiction here. And a lot of people will not find it comfortable, but it has to be said anyway. Buying land doesn't make you rich. It keeps your assets, it keeps your money, and you're able to trade it at a later age at a different price. But if you invested it wrongly, it will turn out to be bad. And here's how. If you do not have an idea of how much land costs in Mukono, and a broker comes and sells it to you at 50 million, but land in that area is 25 million.
Yeah.
By the time it reaches 50, maybe 5 years or 10 years away, you'll think it'll double to 100. But people will come and say 50 because the land in this area is actually at 50. You'll have made a loss because you bought it at 50. You're selling it at 50. That's a loss. Number two, if you bought land today and it increased value to 100, you'll go to the market. Buying land is easy. Selling land is hard. You get, there's no straight away thing like you buy, no. As much as there are possibilities. So just because you buy and trade in land doesn't necessarily going to make you financially free. No, you have to be very calculative. Which kind of property am I investing in? What are the prospects? Doing research about it and so forth and so on, so that when you invest your money, you get something out of it. But the people that are selling the idea of everybody should own land are the ones that are benefiting from the fact that they are telling you to buy the land.
Because they are selling.
Because they're selling the land. So they sell you the idea, not the money or the land. They're selling you the idea as much as you're investing your money in it. So you need to be very, very careful with it. So we are going into this trading of real estate because we want to get money, but also to help other people at the end of the day. So for example, if land is going for 15 million in an area, we know that that land in that area is probably at 10 million. So we would slightly be at 12 or 11. And so we beat the competitors. But we'll have made profits at the end of the day. So here's the thing, even in other businesses, don't aim for too many profits. Aim for something reasonable. But the more people you have, the more money you get. It's a business concept, really. It's minds at play.
What inspires you?
What inspires me? My childhood, my background, where I come from. I want to be rich. I want to be better. I want to leave a mark. And my richness is not for the world. It's for me. And it can be defined differently. I want to be able to afford all the things I never used to afford. I want my children to afford everything I never used to afford. I want my people to get all the best that they can get from me. I want to work for the people. I want one day to start up the Duke's Foundation or the Oniala Foundation and be able to help other people who are in the same brackets like me. They never had an opportunity to life. They probably don't have a way out. They have no children, parents. Those are the kind of people that I want to help. Now that my dad died of cancer and he was such an amazing guy to me, I want to also have a wing that handles health. Yes, because as a leader that is in the making, those are the things you want to do for the people, really. Making society lead better lives, basically. That's what I aspire for. What pushes me every day is I want to be better. I hate being poor because poverty is a bad thing. It's very bad. Oh God, I don't even want to talk about it.
Let's not talk about it.
Poverty. Make them.
Why does poverty trigger you that much?
My goodness. I remember, I'll give you an example. 5 years ago, I could not afford a phone. Right now, I hold one of the most expensive phones in the world. It was about $1,000 or $2,000. It's actually $1,000 and plus dollars. Of course, in the US, it sells 1,000, but when it comes here, it's about 1,500. So, but 5 years ago, I could not afford it. I was like, I even used to ask, are people mad? Are people stupid? How can you get $1,500 and buy a phone? How can you wear a shoe of 200,000 shillings? You can imagine 200,000 shillings. That was like my rent. But right now, I put it in a shoe. I put it in a phone. I was speaking because I was stupid and I was poor. When you make some money, I'm not saying I'm rich. I can just afford the basic things in life that people think they're expensive, that majority of people can't afford. So that's why I say poverty is a very bad thing. They say money can't buy happiness, my darling. It can. Yes,
it can. You've seen money buy happiness.
Money can buy you happiness.
Like, tell us two things.
Tell me.
Like, happiness it has bought for you.
Oh, happiness it has bought for me. Imagine waking up in the morning at Maldives on an island with a beautiful lake view, ocean view. I don't care what is happening in the world. I don't care who the president is. That is my fulfillment. Money can buy happiness. Money can buy things. Okay, it does not necessarily.
You can buy things that trigger your happiness.
Yes. Yeah. Money would buy me a better phone that I'm holding so that my communication needs are fulfilled. I take a better picture. I'm satisfied. I'm happy at the end of the day. Money buys happiness. Show me what poverty has bought.
So would you buy a bed of 31 million?
I would.
You would?
Yes. In fact, even if it's 100 million, I would. If I have.
So the other day we went to B Plus and there's a bed of 31 million just at the, like the second floor. I think the first floor, from the ground floor to the first floor. And I was with a couple of friends who were saying, it was a debate in the car.
That they would not.
They would never watch the same situation.
Because they don't have money.
That's what I told them.
When you have money.
I'm like, if you have, for example, $1 million, 31 million would not be.
Let me give you an example. Every time I go to the bank, I tell these guys, hey, I need some small money.
Yeah.
And they're like, how much, sir? Give me like 2 million. Wait, 2 million is what you're calling small money. Because to him or her, 2 million is even more than their salary. But for me, I'm calling it small money because what's 2 million? You understand? Honestly speaking.
It used to be your salary. Less than that was your salary.
Yes.
How many years ago?
Yes, 7 years ago, 6 years.
No.
That was that.
Okay.
So that at that moment, this was like, yo, this is too much. But right now, 2 million. In a few minutes, I've used it up already. Yes. 2 million, or there's somebody who supplied me with something, push 1 million gone. Hey, another one, this one, give her 600. Where's the 2 million?
So what?
My child in school, they're demanding me 1 million. You get the point. So the value of money is valued based on individuals. Money holds different values based on individuals. Money is not everything, but money holds values depending on you and your earning capabilities. And this life is never straight. It's not flat. It has people here, has people here. So while you're here, you think that somebody who has bought things of this level is stupid. Is not. No, it's because you can't afford. There's nothing expensive in this world. Everything has its own direct customers. If you came to somewhere and said our food is expensive, no, you're not the target audience. There's a target audience we are looking for. If you went to Cafe Javas and said their pizza is at 50, yes, because that is it. They are looking for people who can afford 50, not people who can afford 30. So for you, 36 come to Sungura. Not that we are cheap. There are equally people who say we are expensive because for them, they afford in some Kafunda at 10,000. You understand? So this narrative of saying something is expensive is based on your perception and your spending capacity.
What do you feel like has, when I was during my research about money, I got to understand that sometimes the reason as to why we don't charge for our value, our services, our products, is because we have money blocks. Like a mindset, like a certain mindset. But perhaps you grew up in a household where your mom or your dad had to be
that much
frugal. Every time you asked for something, it was a no. So you learn a lot about money. We don't even learn about money.
We're never taught about
in school
money.
or even with our parents. What do you feel like has shaped your money mindset? Because from earning 1 million and you feel like, whoa,
the world is,
and now you're like, yo,
that is 1 million. That's
like 1K to me right now.
Exactly.
So what do you feel like has broadened or shifted your money mindset?
Number one is money is a mindset. And this world we operate on vibrations and different spirits, different energies around us. The more you think this much money is too much, the more that money is too much and is not coming to you.
100.
And this, it's more of a personal secret, but I'm putting it out there anyway because people need to learn. I one time told somebody I'm going to build a house of about 500 million. They're like, "Esh, that's too much." I know it's too much, but I'm not fearing it. So I want my energies to align with my thoughts, to align with my vibration, and trust me. Because of your attitude towards it, you either get it or you don't get it. When you think about something that it's too hard, trust me, it is going to be hard because you're not going to align with the things that bring that thing to you. If you think about it in the perspective of this thing is actually easy, you're going to find ways of actually cultivating yourself to get that thing. And this, again, I wish people learned it this way. If you fall sick sometimes, not because you're sick, but because your mind has told your body that you're sick. You start feeling something and you're like, oh, I'm sick. I need to get a doctor. I need to say, trust me, you're going to fall sick. No, I'm not sick. Even if you're feeling sick, the vibration that will send into your body, the signals that will send your body will tell them you're not sick, even when there's something wrong. The body will fight so much not to fall sick. Again, this only goes to people who see things from the spiritual realm, people that believe in vibration and connection and deeper, the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind, and all those things are at play, unfortunately.
And people who are also not a victim.
Yes.
Who are not a victim to their surroundings.
So I grew up having hardships in money. But right now, my mindset about money is different.
Which is amazing.
So I value money, but not to the point of not accepting that I can have it. So every day, I wake up with a dream. Say, for example, I want to drive a Range Rover. How much is a Range Rover? Maybe 200 or 300 million. Every day, I know I'm going to do that. It may not happen today, but it has to happen. And so I work towards a certain thing. And then people need to be intentional. We're not intentional. We just wake up, dream of things that can never happen. I'm not saying that we shouldn't dream, but be intentional. By being intentional, I mean do the things that will lead you to that. You want to be the president of this country, but you're sleeping around. You're not intentional. You get? By the time you want to be the president, you'll be in the grave. You get the point?
Yeah.
Because you'll have slept with people and you've mixed your energies, the souls and all that. Probably you've contracted HIV. I'm not saying this HIV is
or any other disease.
Or any other disease that is sexually transmitted.
But even your energy, you drain yourself when you give
So
yourself
by being
too much.
intentional is by doing things that align with your dreams, with your goals, with your aspirations. If you want to be a journalist, but you're moving with engineers, clearly, when will you ever become a journalist? You need to move with journalists. You need to move with people that are in the same space. You're going to Ginger, but you're first going to Gulu. When will you ever reach to Ginger? So you need to align your feelings, your emotions, your actions, your way of doing things with the things that you believe in, with the things that you're aspiring to be. You want to be what? A content creator. Move with content creators. Learn about content creation. Go out to places that have these people. Watch, see, analyze, pick their energies. That's when you will be inspired to go on in that field. But you want to do something and your actions are speaking different. You want to be a CEO, but you sleep a lot. Me, I can afford now to sleep a lot because I know how to program myself.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking.
Sure.
I do that. And people wonder, how do you sleep up to 2 p.m.? And I'm like, what do you mean, how do I sleep up to 2 p.m.?
But last night you posted like 20 videos and they're already making money.
Exactly. It's because there's somewhere that is already compensating for my oversleeping.
Yeah.
What time do you think I slept? I slept at 3 p.m. a.m. in the morning. So even if I slept at 2 a.m. in the morning, people need to wake up. We've been brainwashed a lot into a lot of things. Who said you should sleep at 10 and you wake up at 5?
Who said, by the way? Like, who said?
Who puts, like, wake up in the morning, disrupt the system. If you don't disrupt the system, you'll keep being a captive of the system. Disrupt the system. Don't sleep at 8. Don't sleep at 10. Sleep at 3 a.m. But what are you doing? Some people sleep at 3 a.m. watching movies. Some people sleep at 3 a.m. drinking alcohol. I sleep at 3 a.m. because I've been working on my PC. They're different. I'm doing research. What are you doing? I wake up at 2 p.m. in the afternoon because I'm compensating for the time I didn't sleep. While for you, you've gone out. So now here's the thing. The system operates in the sense that you all wake up at 5, you retire at 10. So if we are 50 million people in Uganda, it means the competition between these times is way higher. So change the system. While people are sleeping, work. While they're working, sleep. Disrupt it. I'm not saying just do it for the sake. Disrupt it. Yeah. Have something to...
Intentionally.
Yeah. So be intentional. With money, money will come. Colleagues, money will come. But if
how do you be intentional with money?
How do I
feel like some people are scared of charging for their services, charging for their value.
No, people that are scared in that
How do you overcome that block?
Is because, number one, they don't know their values. Number two, they have low self-esteem. You need to know what do you bring on the table and how much worth it is. If you can't know that, find somebody to teach you how to find self-worth. What is it that you're giving? For example, I told you, just you seeing me $100 on the spot, just seeing and having a random conversation with me, $100. But that is not definite. It could change, vary depending on who and what they want. Yeah. So if you want more than that, maybe a business consultation, then we agree on that and then I come and meet up with you. Because I know the value I'll have given you in that 2 hours talk, 3 hours talk. We've seen people change lives. Somebody recently reached out to me and they told me, after this show, I'll show you the message. And they're like, you're my business guy. I follow you a lot. And so every time they have a business idea, they come to me. He's a friend, not really that close, but he's someone I know, I got to know him. So those ones, I give them, free knowledge because it's not all about money anyway. But if somebody came that I didn't know, they have to pay for me because I took countless years or countless hours studying, doing experiments and practicing these things that have now worked out that I'm sharing with people. So number one, you must be valuable. You must develop yourself in whatever skill you want to give to people so that somebody finds it like there's no way out except you. There are times I'm working on something and somebody comes and they want to work with me and I tell them, hold up, call me next week. I know they will hold, they will wait because what they're looking for is not everywhere. It is with me. And I do that because after a very long time, you develop your skills, you develop your values, and people who appreciate it will wait.
But how do you develop the confidence? Many people are skilled, they have value, but they don't have the confidence to say,
yeah, very true.
Actually, they waste their ideas, they waste their time, their intellectual property, and they end up finding other people using.
Number one, we were not all created the same, and we will not all be the same. There are people who will never start a business, even when they have the opportunity. And business is not for everybody. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody. There are people who are better off employed. And that is just that. They start a business, it dies, because that's not their calling. We have different callings. And so the people we're speaking to are the people with the same calling, but they're still procrastinating on what to do.
Sure.
So those are the people that we're talking about. So how do you get to recognize your value and what you can do?
And be confident about it.
Again, I take you back. Be intentional, know what you want to do, and work towards that. Number two is you need to try as much as you can, because sometimes you don't discover yourself just because you're at one job or at one thing. You need to see, you need exposure. Actually, that's the word. Read a lot. Expansive reading. Bale Francis used to tell us while we were still in his class. May his soul rest in peace. Do what we call expansive reading. Read a lot. Get to experience life from different angles of the world. I may not have gone to the US, but I know the Canadian prairies or the Americans and all that because I've read. So I've experienced America through books, such that your level of dream is based on your level of exposure. How much you've been exposed will determine how big your dreams are. If you've not been exposed, your dreams will equally be as small, because that is what your brains can. Your brains can't outperform itself. It cannot think of what it has never been exposed to.
Yeah, sure.
It can only give you what you've been exposed to. If you know how to operate this camera and you do not know how to operate the other camera, you won't be knowing how to operate the other camera. You can use the skills here, but you have to learn the other thing. Or maybe those are related. If I'm trying to figure things out that are not if you don't know how to drive, but you know how to operate a camera, your level of understanding will stop at the camera. It will not go to the. So you need to know to expose yourself to different things so that you're able to know what you're good at. You can never know what you're good at until you try out a couple of things. You can't tell me that you've only met one person that you've dated and you think all people are bad. No, the one you met is bad. There are equally very amazing people out there. It's just that you've not met them. You've not experienced life from a different angle, from a different perspective. So before you even know your value, what have you tried out that has worked? How have you exposed yourself? Who are the people you relate with? Some people don't have mentors. Some people don't have people that inspire them. I'm glad people say I inspire them. I don't even know how I inspire them because I don't know myself what I'm doing, but they are inspired at the end of the day. So that's amazing. So now they are inspired. They see, oh, I want to be like Duke. Duke is this. So everybody picks something that probably they like about me. Not that everything they like about me, or they love my confidence. When I come on camera, I speak so perfectly. I speak nice English. Sometimes people want me to train them, but I also don't know. I just started learning on my own. I went to very bad schools. I knew my problem. I was intentional because I knew I didn't have good education. My English was very poor. So I had to work on myself. Read books, read a lot, because as a journalist, you cannot work on TV with very poor English. You have to have, at least be prolific in the language. So I was intentional. I went, got books, read this, read that, looked for the meaning of this particular word. Why did they use this? That is being intentional, because there's something I want. So I did everything to help me in that space. As simple as that.
So self-worth, self-esteem, and self-belief.
They play a lot. There are people.
Do you take time to develop them, or do you wake up one day and you decide, okay, today I'm going to believe in myself. I'm just going to go and ask for that opportunity.
Sometimes we
because I feel like we grow up in homes that
sometimes
actually
you don't
put us down.
Sometimes you don't realize, but sometimes it's the people around you. For example, there are people I've met. For example, The person who didn't give me the job that day when I went for an anchoring job told me you have a good voice. That was the highlight of the day, irrespective of whatever.
Oh, so you are so good with connecting with positivity more than negativity.
Yes, I don't.
Oh my goodness.
I've trained my mind not to think about the negatives.
Interesting.
I only focus on the positive. And that's why I told you the other time that in every challenge you get, it's not always the challenge. There's something good about it. You just haven't seen it. So every time I'm in a storm, I'm like, okay, God, help me. What is good in this storm? Not all storms are bad. Some storms are good. For example, I was fired from work in Bali. I started working in Bali after my senior six. And this person, because he wanted to bring his people, fired me. It's his firing that makes me come to Kampala. If he had not fired me, I would have stayed in Bali. I would have studied in Bali.
Maybe you would not be having this conversation.
Yes, would not be having this conversation. I don't know if God would have led me somewhere out through. I'm in Kampala because of I was fired at all. So in every challenge.
So the rejection became redirection.
Yes. So in every challenge, there's an opportunity. You just have to be smart enough to see it. You go to give birth as a woman, well knowing that you could die.
Imagine.
Yes. But the idea that after the labor, pains and everything, you bring forth life, an amazing individual that grows like the Duke and makes you proud. You're like, I'm going to go and do that. Every challenge, everything is risky. Surprisingly, people fear risks. Do you know that driving a car every day on the road is risky? You could die.
You know.
But you drive regardless. Because you know that it gives you comfort, it takes you places and stuff like that. But there is also a risk you could fall in an accident and die. So it's the same thing. In business, a lot of people are very fearful of the risk, but nothing in this world.
But yet everything we do is risky. When you take a plane,
just being alive is risky. Because you could die.
When you wake up and take a plane to another country,
you could die.
You could die.
Didn't 250 people die the other month?
Imagine.
Last month? Didn't they? But they were like normal people like us. They had risks before and feared, but they overcame the risk of an aeroplane, but they died eventually. So everything in life is about risk. What you need to do is calculate your risk and how best you can manage it. Not just to risk, so because everything is risky, so you sleep around. No. No, calculate your risk. Understand what is it that you could lose in case you did something like this. For example, know that if I want to invest 10 million, don't invest all of it. Invest maybe 5 or 7. Leave 3 apart. So when the business picks up, you're like, oh, okay. So now let me bring the 15 or 10 or 3 and I put it back. You don't invest a lot of money in something that you don't know as yet. So manage your risk. That's how you manage your risk. Always don't do something without calculating the risk. And that's what I told you the other time that I do. When you come to me with ideas, I assess the risk of that idea and I tell it to you as is. So that you know if it works out, this is how much you'd get. If it failed, this is how much of risk you'd be in. So you calculate the risk. If the risks are lower than the benefits, you go. Because the risk of giving birth is probably death and as a woman, and the risk of, taking care of them, but those are manageable compared to the benefits you get after bringing forth a child. Marriage itself is risky.
Yeah.
You could marry somebody who doesn't give birth, who's barren, who is impotent for men. It's risky. What do? You've taken the vows. It's risky. You marry somebody who has sickle cells or is a carrier. Risky.
Maybe they don't even know also themselves.
Maybe they don't even know, but how many of us do the prior checkings? And so I love you and I've phoned you that you're a carrier. So what? We separate? They to love me so much. You get everything we do around us is risky, and so is business. Nothing comes easy. I tell people, start a business. If you get your first money, start something, don't build a house. But they're like, no, that's a mindset. A house is not an asset. A house is a liability when you don't have a business to finance that.
So let's...
I don't know. You can't get your first 50 million and build a house. Focus.
Then sleep.
So what? Get it, invest in business. Yes, businesses fail. Yes, invest in business. Think outside the box. invest in a business. That business, if well invested, well thought about, the problem is we all want to do the same easy things that have competition, think outside. We don't want to think, we don't want to get outside the comfort zone. These are very brutal words that I tell people. And they say, oh, I've not found life on a silver plate. I've had to think. I've had to work, put in the work. There's nothing easy. Business is risky. You could lose all your money, but we risk it anyway. And things work out because we are putting in the effort. So if you're out there and you think, oh, Dennis is speaking because he was being blessed. I thank God I've been blessed, but not to the blessing that you think. Or maybe I have a rich parent somewhere who gave me capital. No, I started from zero. Trust me, you can equally start from zero. To Gambia, learn. If you're in school, learn. If your parents are able to pay for you, go to school, finish that degree. After finishing it, don't think that your degree is very important in this Uganda today. Drop it and start hustling like me who has no degree, and life will be better for you, because the things that make life meaningful are not related to education as much as
100. Like, seriously.
I do things that I never you people, and life is okay, and I'm comfortable where I am, and I don't complain. I don't even think if I had a degree I would still, or a master's. I'm not saying, and I'm not downplaying people with masters. You go have them. It's important to be celebrated, but it does not correlate with money. Money and education are totally different.
Yeah,
totally
they're like
opposite.
this.
But together. So once you get these things,
the most educated people in the world and are actually the poorest, I could say. Like,
yes,
professors, PhD holders.
When you get your first 50 million, don't build. They're like, business is a Uganda, URA. So what? You think Uganda is the only country that is paying URA or taxes? Do you know how many taxes people in America pay? They're about to pay breathing tax.
Yeah.
For heaven's sake. So we are lucky we're in a third world country. Things aren't as bad as those people people pay for. They pay for everything. I have friends in those developed countries. They tell you gas, simanye electricity, internet, parking, insurance, they pay monthly. For us here, we pay for a year. For them, they pay monthly, maybe $100 or $200. And for us here, we just pay over 10, not even 10, I think $20 at most. Our insurance for a whole year. For them, $100 every month insurance. They're paying like mandatory paying. So life itself is not easy. It is hard. So it is your reaction to it. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. Go out there and make things work. So you got your first money, don't build a house. It is not it, guys. It's not it. Don't invest in sleep. Invest in a business. But good business, well thought, calculated risk, and that business should be able to. A lot of people think I'm stupid because I don't own a house to sleep in right now. If I woke up today morning, I would, because I can now afford. But that's not the goal. The goal is to develop different streams of income that would eventually give me money to be able to finance my home. Because my home is a big $1 million home, not kwara. If your dreams are like, I want a car, I want a house, I want to drive, that's it. That's just that. You're capping yourself in that perspective. We talked about the mindset. If your mindset is big, that's how big your dreams should be. Big dreams.
And that's how big also your work ethic should be.
Should equally be, because then it translates to that. Because I can't be thinking of building a 500 million house when I'm doing a 50K work. No, equally, I'm driving. I start with 50K, but my goal is to reach $1 million or 200 million, net worth capital for that.
Yeah.
So first, invest in business. Business will give you, and grow your dreams to be big, not out of this world, but something that can be scaled up. Yes, something can be worked on, something that is viable. If I talk about 300 million, somebody would be like, you're lying, you can't. It's because it is them that can't consume that. My friends can consume it, and that is what I'm working on. You get the point?
I get the point.
So that is where I want
challenges. Let's talk about challenges.
Challenges.
What do you feel have been the biggest challenges on your journey?
Right from childhood.
Right from childhood to where you are now in business and everything. And have you found solutions? If so, then share with our audience.
One of the challenges that I think a lot of people equally face in life is starting from zero. When I speak about starting from zero, I think majority of people can testify on this. Starting from zero is the biggest challenge of our generation. And
by starting from zero, what do you mean?
I mean zero. Zero. I told you I have land, but it's in the village. There's nothing much I can do with it right now. Even if I started farming on it, it would not give me as, because the weather is good, but then the market is poor. You will have very good, but the market will dictate very low prices. So I started from zero, like zero bank account, zero literally everything, zero net worth.
Yeah.
Right now I can equate my net worth. I know how much worth I am because I can do calculative and say, okay, I own this, I own that, this is how much I am. There was nothing, zero. The only thing I had was my brain, my God, and my relatives. So starting from zero is something I would never wish my children to start from. Yes. In fact, I want one day when I become so rich, I want to ask them in an interview, how does it feel having been of a father like me that can afford literally everything you want in life, and that you're not starting from zero? Because
perhaps you're creating like a trust fund for them or something. Actually, not zero, because whatever you're building will be transferred to them
directly. Because why am I working?
Exactly.
There are the reasons that's why I'm working. Because I want
makes
them to be
sense.
better.
I've never thought about it like
But again,
Starting
I don't
from
want
zero.
them to be. I will not tell it to them.
No, yes.
Until they grow up.
Sure.
Until they become responsible people, because I'm now going to nurture them to be as hardworking. Of course, they cannot all be as me, but there are those that will have the vigor to, work hard and stuff like that. So I'm going to nurture my children. The schools, I'm taking them to school for formality, because in this generation, you need to have gone to school to fit in, when conversations are going on, you say, oh, I have a master's degree, but when actually it's
just in the
just for formality. So that's why I have my children go to school. Again, people went to school. I'm sorry, but this is just my view on that. We have different opinions, and so do you have different opinions as well on some subjects. So for me, I'm taking them for formality, but I want to raise them in a sense that they can stand on their own, even if education failed. There is nothing that they cannot fail to do. They can go to the farm, they can set up a business, they can do this, they can do that. And that's what I want them to do. So while they come from school, that's what I'm trying to nurture them into, to be, hands-on people, so that life becomes very easy for them at a greater age. But one thing I also know is they are not going to start from zero. God forbid, even if I die today, there is something they will start from in this city, Kampala. So one of the challenges, like I told you, was starting from scratch. Very big challenge. But another challenge, every other challenge is I've gotten several challenges that I can't even really recall over time. But the sense of not having a belonging of my father, my mother, was a big one. But I tackled it at that stage when it had just started. I started telling myself there's no time for self-pity. And so the challenges in this world are bound to happen to everybody. As long as you're human, you're alive, you're bound to get these challenges. Your attitude towards those challenges is what is important. Your comment about my head that has a bad shape, your comment about my small leg does not matter to me. Because those are your comments anyway. To me, my head is the best head in the entire world. It's not ego, it's not pride.
Like
having
you hype your self-validation.
Yes, everything. So we could be in the same space. I'm not fighting with you. I'm not working with you. I'm working with you, but I'm not competing with you, because I know I'll be better. And trust me, I always get better. Not by chance, but because I put in the work. So even out there, I've always told myself, do away with self-pity, because I've seen a lot of people who never grew up with their parents having self-pity. Oh, I didn't have a parent. What am I going to do? Whoa. I see them a lot of times. I see a lot of people having self-pity, even those that will have parents.
Sometimes, my parents didn't do this.
Yes. Nobody's coming to save you, darling. You are on your own. You have to work yourself on. If somebody came, God came, thank him. But if they don't come, what is your next plan? You are your next plan. Majority of times,
so you are the plan.
own problems.
Yeah.
We create our own problems. You know, I've seen a lot of people that I studied with, that I grew up with, doing bad in life, not because they are doing bad in life. In fact, they even have parents and stuff like that, but they find excuses for their not doing well.
So let's talk about rejection. You talked about your uncle refusing to give you school fees and giving you
Only give me
5,000 for transport.
Yes.
How did you feel like, or even let's put it in the context of an entrepreneur, when you go to a bank, you ask for a loan and they refuse to give it to you. You go to maybe a sponsor, and they reject you. I mean, in many aspects of life,
we get rejections
every single day, single minute. How do you deal with it, and how do you grow from it? Like,
well, the number one thing that I can tell you is you have to work on yourself. Majority of times, the challenges we have are on us, not the world, because that is how the world operates. Not every door you'll knock, they'll open for you. I gave you a scenario that I did screenshots to become a news anchor for 7 times and failed until the 8th time.
Yeah.
So number one is your attitude, never give up, but also to understand that not every time you ask for help, people will come through. Because while growing up, there are times I asked for something, maybe a scholastic need, and I was never given because maybe there was no money. So I told myself, maybe he doesn't have money today. Maybe let's hope for tomorrow. But that is on a personal level. Some other child will resent their relatives and say, oh, they don't want to take care of me, or blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you give a benefit of doubt. Maybe he doesn't have money. Ask somebody out there for something and they don't give it to them. They'll crash because they've gotten used to yes, yes, yes. No, sometimes create scarcity even when you have it. Tell them, oh, guys, today we're not eating bread. We shall eat maybe cassava because I don't have money to buy bread. Like, oh, daddy, no problem. Let's eat this. My children have adapted to that. Whatever is available is what we eat. And I've had to train them for a very long time. I do find hardships with their mother because their mother is, no, I want them to understand that life is not about good things only. There are bad things. If you take, for example, God forbid, he took me today to rest, and your mother was unable to take care of you, giving you all the beautiful life that you want, and you were sent back to my relatives to stay with them, and they can afford muogo or whatever it is available, you eat that because that's what's available. What's not available, it shouldn't be a concern to you, really, So how your attitude is, how you respond to those rejections is what is important, because a lot of times we give away a lot of our powers to external forces that actually don't matter.
100%.
At the end of the day. So if I am going in for a beautiful girl that I want, there are 2 things I'm expecting, yes or a no. I don't expect a yes. Neither do I expect a no. I just expect 2 things. If she says yes, well and good. If she says no, that's not the end of the world. I want to find out why she's saying no. Maybe she's in a relationship with another man, because I didn't ask whether she was in a relationship. All I wanted was to have her for myself. I saw her brown, nyash. She's very educated and doing amazing things, And so now I want her, but she doesn't want me. Maybe she has somebody else. Maybe she's not willing to date. Maybe she's in a phase of her, So I want to know why, so that I can see, is it improvable? Can I become what she wants? If she's looking for people who drive, maybe I could come one day posing as a driver. I mean, you'll have to find all possible ways to get over it. So if your idea has been rejected, ask, why did you reject it? Maybe it's not sufficient enough, not to mean that it's bad, but sometimes it could also mean that it's bogus. Not that every idea you have is exceptional.
Yeah, it is always exceptional to
you,
to the person.
Yes, but not to the world. It could actually be exceptional to you, but not to the actual world. So you have to accept that rejections happen. Ask, why is it? Why did you reject and choose this other person or choose the other one? They give you, so you go back home, and instead of resenting yourself and people, work on those few things. They told me I wasn't good enough for TV. I didn't have experience. I didn't have a degree, but I went back here, worked on myself, got a station where I trained, made all my mistakes, and then I went back to these places by them even calling me themselves. So you have to find ways of dealing with rejection. Majority of times, it's just a situation that you're dealing with at hand, but most of the time, it's not a big challenge.
So it's not that deep that you should resent yourself and
Yes.
say, I'm not enough, I'm not
Just
worthy.
because you rejected me doesn't mean that I'm not
Enough. Or
No,
worthy.
I am enough, but not for you. Maybe for Sandra. Maybe for Joan. Joan probably sees value in me. Not everybody will see value in you just because you think you're valuable. No. There are people who won't see value in you. There are times I've gone to somewhere and somebody, not because I project my value to people. No. You go somewhere and somebody doesn't know you. They've never seen you. They've never had, they don't even know you. They are not even willing to know you. But you're there and like, wow. So you go by that and go through that. But if you're somebody who thinks, oh, now I'm a celebrity, maybe on social media I have a couple of followers, so you now walk on the road like, oh, you own the entire country. Everybody needs to recognize the Duke is in the place, my darling. People are going to turn you down. They're like, who the F is Denis Duke? They don't know, and you don't blame them. It's because they don't know. So when they reject you because they don't know the value, you don't say, oh, I'm so valuable. Why did they reject me? And then you go lock yourself in the door, in the house, cry and so. No, I mean, you have to know how to deal with it. I know majority of times people are depressed because of rejection.
Yeah.
Sometimes relationships, sometimes
To go through depression. 6 months.
Yes. So depression is a moment of self-neglect because of something that happened, caused by anxiety and all that. But you need to learn how the world operates. It doesn't operate on yes, yes. Say no, yes. Once you know how that operates, then you're good to go. That's how you deal with the rejection. I told you I went to my uncle to give me school fees. In fact, it was a registration fee, 140,000 Uganda shillings. 140,000. 140,000. Like how many dollars? That's like $30. But they didn't give me. And I didn't blame him. Maybe he didn't have. But at that time, I knew he had because he had sacks of coffee lying around. He could just have sold one, for heaven's sake. I was his sister's only child, for heaven's sake. His sister was their eldest. The lowest, the least they could have done was just to pay for my. It's not like I'd come all the time from P1. In fact, my dad, the one who rested, told me, Omani Duke, I don't have money. But you go to uncle. Maybe he will give you some. So he gave me transport. The place, we use like 5,000 at most. Like, this is the 5,000. You go. Your uncle will definitely give you. They are good people. So I went there. I slept there the day. Of course, I told them why I'd come. I needed just registration fee of 140,000. Okay. And they couldn't give me. The best they did was I came back. I was crying. My dad told me, it's okay. No problem. Let me see what I do. Rest in peace. And within a few days, he came up with the money and he gave me, but he told me, Dennis, never resent them. Do not hate them. You don't know what people are going through. Your assumptions that they could afford were wrong. Maybe they didn't have. For example, me, your father, I don't have today. But maybe in a few days, I'll get the money and I'll give you. So don't hate them. Don't resent them. Those are your people. And that's why I love this man. He nurtured me. So for me,
that was a powerful
so exactly
lesson.
And so me, if he hadn't said that, they would never have heard from me.
And you could have resented them, resented yourself.
Yes.
And then seen the world in that
perspective. Yes. I would have, they will never hear. So the fact that he said that, I forgave them instantly. Wow. So I moved on with life. And it's funny, when I got some job working, I would go there, drive. I go there randomly, check on my grandpa, check on my grandma, check on my uncles. Carry for them things worth more than 140,000. Sometimes, not even sometimes, all the time. Oh, mzee, kwata yo mitwalo kumi, kwata yo mitwalo etano.
And because maybe he doesn't remember.
They don't remember. The people who do things to you don't remember. It is you. They don't remember. It is you that they did the things to that continue to remember. But because I forgave them, so that's nothing. So 100,000 shillings, that's nothing to me now because I can afford it. Maybe for them, they didn't afford it. But it stems from your upbringing, your parents telling you how beautiful you are, so that when somebody says you're not beautiful, my mother told me I'm beautiful. Who are you to tell me I'm otherwise? So you handle it because
So how we handle our rejection, you would
sometimes stems from where you came from,
how
you were brought up. Yes, because for me, I was brought up to. That's why today there's not a single person that works as my fallback. My fallback is myself. But if I came to you and I wanted a loan of 1 million and you didn't give me, that's okay. You don't have. I don't get mad because you didn't give me. You don't have. Because if you had, honestly, there are no reasons for you not to give me because I'm an honest person. I've probably borrowed from you several times and you've given me. The fact that you've not given me doesn't mean that you don't want to give me. You don't have. And even if you don't want to give me, I don't know. So that's not my problem. That's your problem. For me, in my perspective, I'll take what I want. I tell people every day that if I called you once, I don't need to call you twice. The fact that I called you once, maybe you're busy. Maybe you're engaged. Maybe you're in a meeting. That's why you missed my call. Because I'm sure when you probably get time, you'll return. So I don't have to call you all the time. And then feel bad. Oh, she didn't pick up my call. What are they doing? Maybe they're ignoring me. No, that is you, not me. You get. So other people think they're being ignored. No, nobody's ignored. People are busy. So if I call you and you don't pick, that's okay. That's life. You're busy. I assume you're busy because sometimes I'm equally busy and I'm not able. For example, they're calling me. I'm in a meeting. But if that person has this... Takes it personally that, oh, maybe Duke is ignoring me. It is them that are getting hurt. Me here, I'm here with you having a conversation. Yeah. Maybe I'll forget to return to their calls because maybe after here, I'm rushing to another meeting. By the end of the day, I sleep, I forget. So you have to control all the disappointments that come in life. Yes, the world is unfair. The world is not flat. So where do we find the fairness? So the fairness is in God. God is for all of us. You can't say, no, God is for all of us. And also we need to learn seasons. This is not your season of breakthrough. People rejected me when I wanted to become a news anchor until my time came. And I thank God that it came at the right time when I'd done all my mistakes. I was now a gentleman. I had, a bit of muscle. I had some beards. Because back then when maybe I was being rejected because I wasn't manly enough to be on TV. Because you see, there's a difference. And that's why I want you to pay attention. A lot of times, most people on TV, they have a little bit of muscular. They're a bit of mugged. Not mugged to say, but they have a bigger body. Rarely do you see small, tiny people. Yeah, why is that? It's a technicality in TV. They want you when you're on TV on the screen set to occupy at least a quarter of. And somebody told me apparently. So I said, oh, maybe because I was small, so I could not fit in that. In fact, if you see a small news anchor, you'll see the difference when somebody huge comes on set. They'll occupy and they look better. It's just a technical way of doing things. So they might not tell you, but they'll look at all those factors. And yes, but I thank God that it happened. Your season is not my season. So if you're blossoming, if you're shining, that is you. It doesn't affect me. I'll just be like, oh, Bambi, but when is mine? I can feel sorry for myself, but I can't feel bad because you're shining, because that is your timing. That's your shine. That's your time. And when time has come for somebody, you can't take it away. Bobby Wine's time hasn't come, but it's now. You think it's now? I don't want to say I think, but it's a story for another day. But what I'm trying to say is you can't take away Bobby Wine's shine because it's his time. Yeah. He came out of nowhere, out of nothing, and it's his time to shine. Whoever tries to fight it is fighting with God. Because God... So God is the fairness. Thank you. President Museveni is still president today because God wants him. He's not there by mistake. People will say, oh, because he robs or he steals the election. It could be true, it could be wrong. I don't have evidence. But as a believer, leaders come from God. It is God who puts them there, and he has a reason. And when the time is right, he'll put him away. Do you know how many people have tried to put him out of office? Very many. A lot of them. But they've all failed. All his colleagues that he went to in the bush, they've all died. Why is he still alive? It's not by coincidence. It is by God. So once you know... So there's a force higher than us that is leveling the playing field. I speak this as the stupid person. Somebody was like, what is he talking about? I speak from a religious perspective now. Anybody that doesn't understand religious will find this very uncomfortable. I'm a firm believer of change. But in a peaceful manner. But if the peaceful has now is the time to go back to God and say, God, thank you for having given us President Museveni. Now it's time for us to get a new person. Please get for us a new person so that you give us, so that President Museveni goes into retirement and rests. You understand?
Yeah.
So it is God that gives us leaders. If it's your time to shine, trust me, you'll shine. Because there are people who've come before President Museveni. There are people who've come before Besigye, Bobby Wine. Besigye had his time. His shine was up there. But right now, he's not as shining as Bobby Wine. And you can fight Bobby Wine, a lot of them, but they all keep falling off because it is God's timing. So if it's my timing, my darling, there's nothing you can do. So my timing had reached for me to be on air. Nobody could fight with destiny because that is what had been set for me.
So let's talk about consistency. I mean, you have been consistent on your journey, trying 7 times to be on air with also with your YouTube channel, by the way, and also with Sungura. You've had Sungura for I think more than a year, right?
Yeah, it's
So
3 years now.
I see a lot of a trail of consistency in what you do and who you are. How do you manage to stay consistent? Like, what are the ingredients that
Is there
make
times
you?
I break down and I'm like, you know what? I don't want to wake up today and go do anything. Today, I'm covering myself in the blanket. I do not want to do anything because I'm tired. Human beings get tired, get bored.
Bored.
Yeah, it happens. And
Yeah.
in marriage, you get bored. It's not like you don't like your other person. No, you just get bored. That's why it's very important to try out new things. Maybe new skills in sex, new skills in how you handle your marriage. Go out, have fun, do this so that you spice up the
Different
marriage.
places,
Yes,
vacations.
but it gets boring at the same time. But there are things that need to keep you going. Bills. They keep me going because
The
they
bills.
need to be paid. And not just my bills, but bills of the people I employ, people that are working with me or for me or that are working with. You know, I don't usually want to say people working for me, they are working for themselves. People that I'm working with, you know. Because at the end of the day, if that business doesn't make as much money, I'll be forced to get money from my pocket to invest in that business because those people need to be paid. And if I don't want to pay them, they'll run away. And if they run away, the business will collapse. So what's the essence of having started it at the end of the day? So I want it to work. So sometimes the bills force me to work harder, but also the idea of the achievement when that thing happens, get through is what also keeps me going. For example, I could be doing something because I'm getting paid for it. So the motivation is the money. Otherwise, if the money wasn't there, I don't do things for passion. Yeah. I just find things that I do passionately.
Okay. You find things that you
And
do
then I love
passionately
to
and then
do
you
them.
get paid for them.
Yes. So but if you can do something.
You don't do anything
Yes, out of
based
passion.
on fashion.
No, I don't do anything based on passion. I do something because it is giving me money at the end of the day. If you are lucky enough to get something that is in your passion and it gives you money, congratulations. But most of the time, I tell people, don't do things that you're passionate about. No, find something, get passionate about it, or do it passionately and get a salary, get a living, go home and enjoy your passions elsewhere. Yes, if your passion is swimming, how many times do you think your swimming will give you money in Uganda, except when you go to the Olympics level?
Yeah, but there are many things around swimming. You can
Your passion
still
is
swimming costumes. You can fill floaters. You can.
Yeah, so now
Yeah.
that it becomes profitable at the end of the day. But I'm giving you scenarios. You're an actor. I've been acting. How much do you think I'm paying?
You've acted?
Yes.
Where?
Jesus.
Okay.
I'm on Power Magic.
No way. Okay.
So here's the thing.
This is crazy.
So here's the thing.
This is interesting.
So I do acting. Not
So you've done like a series? Which
Yes.
series are you in?
I've been in Koja. I've been in The Honorables. Yes. So again, I want to take you back. I don't want you to confuse me. I want to take you back. I don't do acting because I'm expecting a pay.
You do it for passion.
For passion. Then
You're not stressing the passion.
The passion, exactly.
You're enjoying it.
Enjoy it. If the money comes, well and good. If it does not come, I get earning somewhere. So earn whatever you want to earn from somewhere. Do your passions over the weekend. Do your passions in your free time. That's if you want it. But if your passion can give you money, If you are passionate about singing and singing gives you money, congratulations. But I told people not to follow their passion because sometimes passions don't give them money. And this is a very debatable thing. Oh, what if you don't do something that you're passionate about? How will you then blah, blah? No. Money first when you're doing business. Passion comes second. Yes. Don't do something because you're passionate and it's not giving you money. You get, just because you're passionate about interior designing, so you go around doing interior designing for people. Sometimes they don't even give you. No, do it because it is profitable. It pays your rent. It pays your staff. It does this for you. And so that is how I take life. Not passion. It's driven by the fact that I need to pay bills. I need money to take care of myself and to be better and reach the Forbes list. Even if I never get to the Forbes list, at least I'll be close. Aim for the stars. What do they say? Aim for the moon, aim for the stars.
Land among the stars.
Exactly. So you'll be in between there. So if your goal is to become a billionaire in USD, of course, you may not become a billionaire, but you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And that is just
and a heavy millionaire.
Yes, and that will be good enough for you. So your goals and your dreams, again, how much you're exposed to and how much you set your goals matters here.
What is your why?
Why? Why am I doing it?
Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do what I do? I told you it's because I want to be able to afford the things that I never used to afford. I want to set things for my children so that they don't start from zero. And I want to make society lead better lives, because it doesn't matter how rich I am. If my richness is not important to the society, then let it be. I don't want it. I don't know if you get the point.
So impact.
Yes. Of what importance?
As much as you make money, as much as you're motivated
to make
by
money
money
for myself, what is it important to the society that I come from? Is the question that I ask myself every day. I want to be rich heavily, but then what next? If the society around me are leading poor lives, it doesn't make sense to me. So I want to be as good, have money, but the people around me, I may not necessarily reach the entire world. I can only do a handful of people, but I want to see people. If that village doesn't have water, what is it can I do? I can afford a borehole, maybe 7 million. If I can afford, let me do them for them water.
Have you built some boreholes in your village?
Not yet, but it's where I'm going to. Because I first wanted to work on myself. I can never work on anybody before myself. You work on yourself first before you work on other people.
And we normally do it the other way around.
I cannot work on other people before I work on my family. My family has to. So it was about me first, me as an individual, then my children, my woman, then my extended family, my wife's family, my family. Because it would be very ridiculous of me to go out there and get a young man or a young woman and sponsor their education that I'm not related to when I have people in my home who are struggling to go to school. It would be ridiculous of me. I first want to change family, home. If there's a cousin who doesn't have something, I want to help them first. Then from there, I can now go on extending as I'm planning to go to Parliament. Maybe I wanted 2026, but looks like I might wait a little bit to 2030. 31, or is it 31?
31.
Yes. So
2031.
I haven't done a lot of community work. The only community work I've done is to engage them, to train them, to teach them via my different social media platforms. When I'm called, those are the things I've done. But now, if it's tangible, I first want to finish with my family. Then I can go on and build other people. When you find somebody doing things for other people and their family are struggling, they have a problem.
What is the problem?
The problem is they want to be celebrated.
They want to be idolized.
Idolized, something like that.
Yeah.
You change your family first, then the rest can work. Even when you're in the aeroplane and you get a collision, they tell you, work on yourself first. Because if you don't work on yourself first, you will die and the people will remain helpless. Here's the scenario. You have a child. You first want to give your child oxygen. But in the process, you die. Or you lose control, the child will equally die. So first, handle yourself. Then, after you gaining confidence, work on another person. So I'm working on myself. Probably I've worked on myself. working with people around me. Now it is time for me to go out there and work on other people. And then another thing why I encourage people to support family is because money is a visitor.
Money is
A visitor. Today is there, tomorrow is not there. I have seen people in my family that had money that don't have money anymore. Maybe because of some things that happened, and so money, they lost it. So
But
when you have
when
an
you have
opportunity
a
to
cushion.
when you have an opportunity to help somebody at home, help them, because you don't know what they will be tomorrow. Maybe they could come out and help you. That's it.
What do you want to be remembered for?
As a person who wanted society to lead better lives, I'm very passionate about society. There are times, I don't know whether it's in my blood group, there are times I go out there and see people mistreating others. I feel extremely bad, and sometimes I'm forced to engage. Some doctors said that people of blood group O tend to want to fight problems that are not theirs, and it's indeed true. I fight problems that are not mine. Even if I found a border guy that has knocked somebody and is denying when I saw them, I want to engage and make sure the other person gets justice. So and that is me. I want justice for everybody. If you work for me, I want you to be paid exactly what you earned, unless otherwise. If you've given me a job, I want you to get exactly that. So I'm very passionate about making and helping society lead better lives. That's what drives me.
This is one of my most exciting segments for the show and our audience. Duke Waniala's success formula. What is your success formula?
Nobody will ever come out here and tell you, because sometimes they don't even have it anyway. And I see a lot of
They have it, but they're not aware of it.
And sometimes they have it and they don't share it.
Oh.
Because it doesn't operate that way. For example, my formula can never be yours. You can only copy and maybe learn a few things. My formula is very simple. Be honest. Be intentional. Nobody's coming to save you. Those ones are my key three things. And the last one, which would have been probably the first one, is raise your belief in God. Whether you don't think he exists, just for the sake of your own peace, believe him, and you'll see things happen. I tell people, I would rather believe that God exists and I don't find that he exists than not believing that he doesn't exist and eventually find that he exists.
Why?
Because if I lived my life knowing that he exists and I don't find him existing, I'll have not lost anything. But if I lived my life knowing that he does not exist and I find that he exists, I'll have lost everything. And here's the thing. I don't mind which religion you subscribe to. Whatever your beliefs, when you believe in God, you learn to be patient. You learn to know that there are seasons. You can't be honest. Sometimes honesty comes with religion. Yes, but my honesty is not about religion. Even if I wasn't religious, I would still be honest because that's what I feel. My conviction tells me. I want to work with you when I'm comfortable. I want to get the money in the cleanest of ways. I don't believe in fraud. That's why I'm not believing in big money anywhere. I believe in working and developing and growing. So, with honesty, being intentional, knowing that nobody's saving you, knowing that people are not watching you, nobody cares about you and you yourself. You don't have to think somebody's watching what I'm doing. No. And that's how people don't do the things we tell them to do. They'll be like, oh, I have a degree. I'm a degree holder, so I can't, touch the soil. So you continue. Money is not in offices. I'll tell you, big money is out there. The big monies in offices are the ones that they, fraud and stuff like that. Big monies that has no control, even government can never control, is out there in the private sector. I charge you what I want, not what you want, not what the government wants. I charge you because this is me, this is my work, this is what I do. Somebody else charges you the same thing, but differently, because that is them. Me, I charge you differently for the same thing, meanwhile, because this is what I believe in. It's a free economy. There is no cap to how much I should charge. No. I charge different. So the big monies are in this other world where people are neglecting. Do you know that the people that are working on the roadside make more money than people in offices? A woman selling chips makes more money. But because somebody will like, how will they see me selling chips? I'm a degree holder. I have this, So you get, people make more money in the things that we despise. Yes, so it's very important.
So the street vendor roasting chicken
makes more money than a bank teller in a bank in Uganda.
That's interesting.
And here's how. Every day he makes maybe 30 or 40,000. A border guy makes more money than a bank teller. Sorry for using bank tellers. I love you. You're my friends. Every time I come there, you serve me. But these are facts that need to be told. He makes more money than a teacher, a primary teacher. Yet, a primary teacher spends a lot of time in school from morning to evening. A border guy, up to 1 p.m., he wants to go home. He's already made money. There's a border guy whom I sent somewhere to pick my chicken from town to home and then to Mukono to back. I gave him 60,000 in a day. 60,000, but he put in maybe fuel of 20. But he has made 60, you understand? So the jobs that we despise are the jobs that actually have money. So it's not about how beautiful the job is. It is you to make it beautiful for you. The jobs are dirty. It's you to make. Me, I tell them, dirty hands, clean money. Always, that's my motive. Dirty hands, get dirty. At the end of the day, enjoy clean money. But if you want clean money, nobody's giving out clean money, just clean. You need to be, maybe you're a fraud. But as long as I know you're just working somewhere for someone, you cannot think of big money. The much you can earn is 2 million. If you earn more than that, you're in a managerial seniority, in a senior position. Which senior positions in a company are like 3 or 4? How many are you in the company? You're like 1,000. So tell me, the competition to that senior position is like way up here. So you weigh in the options.
What is your last message to entrepreneurs out there?
Entrepreneurs out there, work hard. For the first 3 or 4 years of that business, give it all your best. Right now, I'm able to sleep because I gave everything that I worked on a couple of years ago a lot of time. Work on it. There are times you'll go without eating. There are times you will sleep for 2 hours. There are times you will go to work because even when you're sick, there are times you will not pay yourself because you're paying workers. There are times you will lack what to eat, but invest in your business, not just money. Give it all your best, your capital, and learn to delegate, learn to build systems, because then you become free and independent of that venture after 2 or 3 years, but only if you've developed systems. Currently, somebody works, they start up something and they're equally the employees of the company because they haven't developed systems. So systems are very, very important. We could talk about systems until tomorrow, but it is very, very important. Yes. And lastly, trust in God and pay taxes, guys. It's very important. You could start a very good thing, and because there's no, just pay your taxes. That's it. There's no shortcut.
Where can people find you?
People can find me on different social media platforms. Denis Duke UG, Facebook, Twitter, Denis Duke UG, everywhere. My email is dukesmedia12@gmail.com. I created that email because I believe I'm going to have a Dukes Media company that will have a TV, radio, and all the multimedia, newspapers, all of that as a whole. So that's why the Dukes Media. It is coming. It will shake the nation.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. It was very inspirational, very enlightening, and very elevating.
Thank you for having me. And thank you guys for actually watching.
And that was all we had for today. I remain Dorothy Kamarunga, and the show is Success Theory. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Success Theory. Until next time, bye.